It's Monday morning. Collider Live is back on the scene, and the Avengers trailer has not been confirmed. And not yet, anyway. We're going to figure it out. We're going to talk about it for sure. How is everybody doing on this wonderful Monday morning? I hope you're well. I hope you're all doing just beautifully. Music's going up, it's going down. Who cares? Wow. I would like to talk to everybody in the room today, starting off with the, I don't care if you're doing out your tweet, the one and only Roxy Striar. Hello,
I knew
Roxy.
you were going to do it anyway.
You're the co-host of the show.
Yeah, I know, but I'm trying to get out the tweet. I'm the only one who tweets about the show.
Oh, man.
That's not true. I retweet every time you do it.
You do retweet every time I do it, but if I don't do it,
I do
no
too.
tweet goes
And whose fault is that?
Yours.
Not really, because you've already said that I'm going to be the one that does this, so everyone just assumes you're going to do it, so that means sure
So
I'm
I'm
gonna retweet.
doing it.
There you go. So I'll retweet it
Happy
during the
Monday,
break.
Kristian.
To you as well. It's like it's church.
Yep.
Brett Sheridan, nice to see you.
Straight hair don't care, right, Roxy?
Yeah, I got some things to talk to you
Am
about.
I right?
Yeah, there's some things.
Oh,
There's
we
some
got things.
You talked about some things in the car. I got to bring it up.
Hey, a little car. I had to give him a ride to work today.
Yeah, my car's in the shop.
Yeah.
So I got to,
Still?
No, I just don't. Still, I just took it in on Saturday.
What
Apparently,
happened the last time you needed a ride?
Last time,
different thing?
I went to an event. Yeah, this was my engine light went on.
Collider Uber driver, Brett Sheridan.
No, we had nice talks, and we'll talk about that in a second. Mark Yodius Reillius is here. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Nice to see you.
I'm festive.
Cut that nicotine shit out, will you?
No.
What do you mean?
I'm not smoking.
All right, fine.
What do you mean cut that nicotine shit out?
I do the gum and
I
I,
know
do
you
the
do.
vape and I,
The vape. See,
that's
see how I
good.
slip that in there?
He's not
got the
smoking
vapors.
cigarettes.
I know, but I see. I don't. I'm the old school old fart here too. You
Yeah,
still
I know.
vaping?
Cold turkey.
I get it. I get it.
I care about you.
It's
I want that shit to-
everybody is. Like
Yeah.
my fiance, she looks at me.
Yeah, I know.
Hell are you doing?
Because you know you did that thing. You did the. I said, "What's inside that vape? Is he smoking the pot?" You're
the
like,
weed?
"No, it's tobacco." And I was like,
You would
like,
rather if it was pot
Yeah.
"Yes,
during work?
yeah."
Yeah, some people do get high at this office. I see that.
I will never smoke.
Smoke. Oh, yeah,
I can't. I'll become.
yeah. At work, it's true. It's true.
Me,
What?
despite popular belief, same.
Yeah, on the
Same.
air, it just doesn't work. But there's something that happened over the weekend that Brett was working. You were working an event, or what happened?
I went to an
to
art
an
show.
art
I went to 3 things. I left my home 3 times last week. I went
Which
to
is very unlike you.
a movie screening. I went to a
What screening did
play.
you see?
No, just as like a
You were
friend's-
invited to a
friend's-
screening?
Yeah, yeah, but it was just a friend's.
Why didn't
thing.
Roxy go?
What, can I go?
That friend invited me.
Yeah.
And then I went to a play, my friend's play that's very good. And then I went to an art show.
Oh.
And I ran into 2 fans of the show.
Yes,
Nice.
you ran into 2 fans of the show, and which is something that we talked about. You remember we've talked about it in the past here when we went to the last Schmoedown live event. There were a lot of fans that wanted to see Brett, and he pretty much like hid in the corner because he just
good for
doesn't.
him, good for him.
He just doesn't. It's not that he doesn't like fans. He loves the fans, but he just doesn't like meeting people in general. And
It's
so,
not like I'm just very uncomfortable. I'm nervous.
Right.
Even when I did plays in high school and stuff like that, I never liked to do the thing where you came out in the hallway afterwards.
hated
And these
that
were my
too.
family and stuff. I don't like the accolade. It makes me feel uncomfortable,
Weird.
and I'm not worthy of
but
it.
these people came up to you and they were big fans of yours.
Oh, yeah,
They liked you and
Big fans of the show, maybe little fans of me, but I'm sure it was like, man, wouldn't it be cool if Kristian was with him?
I think I think you don't give yourself enough credit.
But no, they were
Yeah.
very competent. They said that they really loved this show particularly, and they liked the direction it was going, and it was really cool. But like any bit of silence was me just prattling on about my. I mean, it's weird that I'm out and my kids. I don't get out of the house much. It's kind of weird that you ran into me, and I'm just going to keep talking because of silence right now, and you're staring at me, and
I'm
I
sure
feel
they were
weird.
so happy with that, though.
I'm sure they were. And I
don't
asked
know.
him. I said, "Did you take a picture with him?" And he said, "No, he refused."
Yeah,
They asked and you said no?
No.
He didn't refuse. No.
I always said, yeah, and then I go like, they didn't ask for a picture.
Yeah.
You should offer.
You turned into your dog.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, you should offer, because sometimes people are awkward. Do you guys want a picture?
Okay, because to me that I was like, oh, that seems conceited and whatever, like, assuming that they would want
I think
a
it
picture.
depends on the read on the personality.
Yeah, reading the person.
Just
If
like
they're
you-
shy
yes.
and a little awkward and you can tell they've come up to you, they're big fans, you can say.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, do you
these
guys
guys
want
were
to take a
totally
picture?
cool. They weren't even awkward.
Oh,
They're
then they would have
Right.
asked.
Yeah.
You,
They
you,
didn't
were-
want a
you
picture.
wanted to take a picture with them.
Yeah, no, I actually
Right.
they were really cool dudes, and I might go to their art show. They
Oh,
got me a
they
card.
do an
and-
art show.
Yeah, I'm like, I said,
Look at
I'll
that.
go check it out. Yeah,
Okay. Well, look at you. I'm proud of you.
yeah. If they're listening,
talk
hey,
to
it was
people.
nice meeting you. I'm sorry I was such a nervous and jerky weirdo.
You get to be proud of him.
Yeah, I can be.
Yeah, you
right?
can be.
Because I helped him on this journey, so it counts, right?
Yeah, I definitely think so. After further consideration and talking to many people about it, apparently I have the twat take on the situation.
You
so,
do? Oh,
yeah.
okay. You still read those comments?
No. Like, yes, I do read the comments,
Why?
but not about that. Because they make me a better host.
The comments do?
Yes,
How so?
because I learn from them.
Really?
See, I'm
think
struggling
so.
with it because I every time I go to it, I even when it's nice, and then you find that one, or I see things about other people. Like it makes me mad if somebody says something about you or about Chris. Like I get infuriated, and it's a lose-lose every time I've looked.
Luckily,
at YouTube.
Brett, literally nobody says anything bad about you in the comments. It's all me.
Well,
You're good.
I've
You're good, bro.
even one guy. No, I used to get it pretty bad, but I've realized it's because I don't review movies anymore.
Well, that's going to change, and especially because
gosh.
well, here's the whole thing: is that I listen to Afterthoughts. Obviously, you can check it out on the Afterthoughts. Afterthoughts is on the Collider Live podcast feed with Snelling and Jay Williams, and they brought it up a couple shows ago where they talked about because we had Dorian come in to do the Movies Anywhere thing, and they're huge fans of Brett. So they wanted to make sure that segment wasn't replacing Brett to the Future. It's like, well, you have Brett to the Future. Why aren't you just doing that instead of the other thing? Well, there's a lot of different reasons. One, we wanted to get Dorian's take on. He's a lot younger than Brett. There's a lot of movies that he hasn't seen in the millennial kind of point of view, and I think that they brought that up as well. But the other thing is that Brett to the Future is different in the way that because it's a perspective on Brett and the fact that these movies that he couldn't see. It's really, I guess it's kind of the same thing if you look at it's just different generations.
It's a flip of Dorian. He's seen all the newer stuff that I haven't seen, and I've seen all the older stuff that he hasn't seen.
So I think we can do both, and it just complements each other. So I would actually like to bring it back. So we'll bring more heat your way.
I'd do one with Dorian too. That'd be an interesting thing if we found something we both
That
haven't
could be
seen.
cool.
You know,
Yeah, I'd like to do that for sure. Dorian got screwed last week because Dorian was supposed to talk to Matt Serra about Titans. We were supposed to, but what happened, Riley?
What happened?
Well,
What happened?
it's interesting. I had him ready. He was in the booth.
We
He
just
was
don't-
in there, and I was.
It's just hard.
like-
It's just hard to.
I was trying to get that guy's attention. Who said?
Yeah.
Get Dorian. I went, great, I got Dorian. And I'm like,
We don't have
literally
signals. There's no signals in this office to figure out how to do it. Like sometimes, we have the red light to let us know when we're wrapping up, or we have like this.
They can't write messages to us on the board? Well, people can
Sometimes.
see it in the
This is
shot.
this is my favorite. You know what you did when I did get your attention?
What?
It just didn't. I was like, and you're like, so we're going to talk about that, and like you just moved on, and like almost
I didn't
like
even
I just
notice.
kind of waved just to point something else out, but it wasn't through Dorian. So we should probably get like one of those boards.
We need to get a board or something along those
That's,
lines.
Where's it
something
gonna
that's-
go?
The red light's
There's a
flashing
red
now.
light.
Speaking of which,
We gotta
Comedy
wrap
Shop,
up.
Shop, and Flop and Fop Fop is back. Hello,
Hey,
Cobby.
Cobbster.
Aloha.
How you doing? Yeah, can we talk
Oh.
about that? Where were you?
I was in Hawaii.
Nice. And
Yes.
did you have a very nice? You came back and you seem very relaxed. You seem almost tan.
Yeah, it was quite delightful. I had a great time. I think like day 4 though, I was like, okay, I need to get back to work. Like,
Yeah,
it's
you're
too
done?
much relaxing. But it was great. I had a great time with the family. Hung out by the beach, drank. It was great.
Good. And you had a nice relaxing time. You ate a lot of pineapple and you enjoyed yourself.
Very much so.
I
Yes.
went in November. That's when I went for my honeymoon, and the weather is it's not like super hot, but it's pretty delightful. Yeah, there's a dolphin there
Oh,
too.
nice.
Well, good. We're happy to have you back.
Thank you.
And I said off air, you would have been very upset with me on Monday's show because when we were trying to fix the mic and we had someone go, and Alex went out to get the Febreze, and I sprayed the Febreze directly into the microphone.
Yes.
I said right away that you and Thad would be very angry at me.
Yeah, I didn't. So since I was away, I stayed away from all of YouTube's and everything. I was just disconnected from that stuff. But the one thing that I did see was you spraying the microphone.
Ah.
It literally says on the Febreze, "Do not spray this into a microphone."
No, it does not. But
it
it
doesn't.
should.
That'd
But
be
it
funny,
should.
though.
It absolutely. Yeah, it should. After
It's a
that.
picture.
But the microphone seemed to work. Still smells pretty good, like Febreze. So it worked out for the best.
Yeah.
But you didn't watch anything else?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
I don't blame you. I like to shut off too when I'm on vacation, so you should do that. But now you're back in the thick of it. Welcome back, you son of a bitch.
I hate that Febreze smell.
Oh,
It
they
reminds
do.
me of it reminds me of throw up because it was always
Oh.
used when the kids would throw up on things, and that for some reason it's like a
I
sense
can see
memory.
that. As you bring it back, yeah. sense.
I don't like the Febreze smell either. This also just smells like throw up now again, though.
Yeah.
Minus
Oh,
the
not
back.
BO now. It's throw
Smells
up.
like
back,
throw
huh?
up?
Oh,
Who
nice.
threw up on the mic?
It smells bad again.
Does it really? What's happening?
Something between Wednesday and Monday is happening.
Well, we recorded
All right, we need to
something before.
We gotta
Let's get down to
can-
business.
we
Yeah.
can
I'm not
figure
going
it
to do it
out.
on them.
It wasn't Ellen
Defeat the
Page.
bad
She did.
breath.
All right. Well, what do we do? Just put. We should just put. Wash your face before you come in. Or,
I think we should put mints.
and give somebody like,
Communal mint right in the
Yeah.
middle.
Please use this.
Sign.
Your
Prior
breath
to.
stinks.
Yeah.
When you sit down, you take a mint,
Is there something else that these can be sprayed with after every show?
After show? I
Or
mean,
put in some sort of incubator. And
we've been
shot
talking
with
about it, so we got to figure it out.
It's not as bad as it was, but it's getting there.
All right. Well, listen. What can I do?
You knew.
I don't sit there. I do want. There's something that
She really gets up into it too. She
does.
She digs her nose
Yeah.
right.
Well, I'm
I
that
love
person.
that. I know you just like.
I gotta do it again. It's like, this smells terrible.
You
Try it.
Yeah,
you do
this
it.
tastes like crap. You want
I
some?
want some, and you do
Yeah,
it. You're
I
that
do.
person. You do
Yeah.
it every single time. I'm pretty sure this is expired.
Yeah,
Try it.
and
You'll
then
do
I
it.
do.
You'll guzzle down the
I can't help
month-old
it.
milk.
Because good or bad, I want in.
You want to figure out. You
I
want
want
to
in.
be part of the
I wanna
experience.
be part of it,
Right. And this is
always.
your experience. This is your stinky experience.
Can I come?
This is this experience is something that it happened like on Thursday or Friday, but I have to bring it up because it's absolutely ridiculous. So I read this article on so Southwest. There's a gate guy takes the tickets, and so this young kid gives 6 years old or something, gives the boarding pass, and the flight what's it called, the boarding agent looks at it, laughs at the name, right, and then posts the name all over their social media. The kid's name was Abcde. Okay, now the Southwest has since apologized for the fact that they mocked this kid's name, and this is a 6-year-old kid. So I have a lot of takes on this. The first take is that the agent shouldn't have done that. 100% should not have posted it on their Facebook. This is a 5-year-old kid. Kid posted a picture of the child's boarding pass on social media. Now Tracy Radford, who is the kid's mother, it's spelled Abcde, but it's pronounced Abcde.
Of course it is.
Okay, so Abcde is now this poor kid Abcde. So this, like I said, the first thing is that the agent was wrong. Now, do I think the agent was wrong for saying what in the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
For
Fun.
what is going on there? Because Abcde. There is a case. There are a lot of people right now who are saying that pot should not be legal. This is not helping.
Yeah.
Because you can see them sitting around going, hey, I know I'm having a baby. Here's a couple of suggestions of the baby's name. I thought Matthew at first, but that's all.
Oh, yeah.
How about this? 1, 2, 3, 4. No. That's yesterday's news.
Still played out.
Still played. How about this? A, B, C, D. Well, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
We're just
No,
not there.
we're not.
All right, I got it. A, B, C, D, E. Brilliant.
Abcde?
The Abcde is the name.
Abcde.
Everybody knows my kid Abcde, and you've seen her on the news, and you know her, and that we're past the plane thing. But you haven't met our second kid, Fidget. FGHGI, whatever the fuck his name is. And then don't forget Columnop. Our other kid, Columnop, he just got out of prison. It's like, what are you doing?
L-M-N-A-P.
Columnop, K-L-M-N-O-P. Columnop. What? I mean, who said this is a good idea?
Do not do this to your kid. It's not funny. It's not cute. This is not something you should do to a kid
No.
in any shape.
You
or
have no choice.
It's I mean, not as bad, but spelling regular names really odd. With a Y's and like Molly, but it's not Molly.
But that's
Yeah,
but that's fine.
I used to work at the Children's Hospital in Boston.
I'm sure you
and
saw a
so
lot.
I saw a lot of really weird names.
Yeah.
Tons of them. But I'll never forget that one day, I'm handed a piece of paper before I go in the room. You look at the piece of the paper, you get the name, and you go in. And I looked down, and it was Shitthead. That was the name of the kid.
Give me a break.
And so I walked in, and you could just tell on my face I didn't know what to say.
Right.
I was a kid, and I walk in, and he looks at me, and he said, "It's Shitthead. It's Shitthead." And I felt for him because his parents obviously were not American. They were there.
Right.
I don't think that they did this on purpose to
Yeah,
F over
that's a
their
little
kid.
different.
I think
This is
right. So
Right.
for them, I was like, you should have cleared this with somebody, like that your kid's name is legitimately Shithead, but you probably didn't know.
Yeah.
Right.
With this, it's like you did this on
It's
purpose.
trauma every single time.
On
A, B,
purpose.
C, D, E, present.
Yeah.
The fact that they literally named the child this. I
Yeah.
don't know
Yes.
how you come to that decision.
And I'm not apologizing for this. Like, because Southwest had to apologize for. Look, this story's out there now too. This is silly. This is silly
child
thing.
abuse.
You should-
No, it really legitimately is.
It's hard enough to be a kid than to
Yeah.
have a effed up name
Or
like
just
that.
change,
Almost
if it's
did it.
Abcde, then
Abcde is a fine name.
then it should be spelled.
ABSIDY.
Spell it like that.
It should be spelled the way that it's
Abcde.
pronounced.
Yeah.
And so when I read, I was just like, "Come on, man! This is the reason people hate America."
Yeah, true.
It's
The main reason.
These hippie parents.
Like
Yeah.
never ever is that kid in class and somebody sees it and sees ABCDE and says, "Oh, Abcde?
It's a,
Is
it's
Abcde
a
here?"
beautiful
Like,
name. It's a beautiful name.
Yeah,
Poor
I come
kid.
from a family of teachers. The first day of school, every year, the first day of school,
Yeah.
this kid with the new teacher they're going to go, huh? It's what? And it's going to just take over the conversation for 10 minutes, and then who knows what these kids will do.
This
They're
kid
going to
will
make fun
change-
of
You
this
them.
kid will
legally
change
change
her
your
name.
name.
Yeah.
When can you do that?
18, I believe.
18.
You have to be 18.
I believe. I mean, you can probably look at 16 if you have sign off
I
permission.
think it's
I
18.
don't.
I legally changed my last name at 18. Yeah.
Oh, that's Sheridan's not your.
No, that's not my birthday.
What?
So,
Really?
yeah, I legally changed it.
Where
Yeah.
did you-
Who's Sheridan?
Sheridan is my stepdad.
Oh.
Yeah, so-
okay.
That's yeah. I'm not even Irish at all. I'm completely
What are you?
German. I'm German through and through.
Oh,
my
that's
mom did
the-
like
that's
the
why your kid
23
picked
and
it up.
me,
Oh.
and it was just like my wife's was just this wonderful, like
Right.
she's got Native American, she's got this, she's got all
There's
this stuff,
spies
and then
in
mine
yours.
is just like German.
Right.
Yeah, we learned something we already knew.
Right.
Nice.
Okay. We'll have to ask you off air what your real last name is, unless you want to say it.
Oh, I can. Yeah, it's Hart.
Oh.
HARDT.
Oh,
It's very German.
I never knew this about you.
Wow,
yeah.
I
didn't
gotta
know
say,
that
Bret
either.
Hart's a
Bret
pretty cool
Hart,
name.
you're the wrestler.
Yeah.
Bret,
Do you
wait a
know what
minute.
also rhymes with
Guys,
Hart?
you got to play it.
Fart.
Yeah, Bret Hart, cut a fart.
You're right. Is that why you changed it? One
No,
of the
no,
reasons?
it just,
You just didn't-
The family
Yeah, I
relationship.
wanted to be, part of the
You
family.
want to be the Sheridan,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I get it.
Wow,
And
but Hart is such a dope name.
you know what? If you were a wrestling fan, what did you change it?
Well, no,
to?
it was around that time. I mean,
But if you were a hardcore wrestling fan, I don't know if you would have changed it.
Well, but he was a bad. That was a bad guy. Those were bad guys, right?
No, he became. Yeah, this is it.
It's
He
Bret
be-
the Hitman Hart. I
Bret,
knew it.
Bret
Yeah.
the Hitman Hart became like
And
a
the Hart Foundation
like
and-
the ultimate good guy. Was like champion and everything
Oh,
too.
really?
Yeah.
I can't do it. I almost just went
Thought
on Ken
Nat
Napsok,
Talk, yeah.
and it's your Schmoedown headlines brought to you by Collider.com.
I wonder if Brett knows that too. But that's interesting. But you are Brett Sheridan.
Yeah.
But you formerly Brett the Hitman Hart.
Yeah.
Brett the Hitman Sheridan. There. Now you have your Schmoedown
Boom.
name. Now you got your Schmoedown name.
Hitman.
Perfect. Look at that.
You just got to get him up on trivia.
I know. I know. See,
He asked me to do one. I was
Yeah?
gonna do, and I couldn't
Really?
do it. Yeah.
All right, so let's see. There's other things I want to move into. I was able to. I took my daughter to the Mary Poppins premiere, which was, and I don't know if there's an embargo on it yet. I think there is. I don't know.
Probably.
I've seen a lot of
I haven't
tweets.
heard.
Yeah, the tweets,
I haven't
social
heard
media stuff.
anybody do a review.
Yeah, so I can't talk about the movie yet.
Did you tweet about it?
I did not. I just put a picture out of myself and my daughter from the actual premiere itself, and it was a nice moment. The thing that I enjoyed the most about it was that I took my daughter at the end of the night. She sat next to Mance, by the way, which was amazing to watch. And she goes, I was like, you know who this is? And first she's like, no, and I go, Scott. She goes, Mance, and Mance goes, you know my name? Right? And then he sat down. They were talking for a little bit, and at the end of the movie. Vivian, my daughter, I looked at her and I was like, do you want to go to the party? Because she was tired. She usually goes to bed at like 7:30, and we started at 7:30. She puts her head down on my shoulder, stays awake the whole thing. At the very end of the night, she looks at me and I said, you want to go to the party? You want to go home? She's like, Dad, we're here. We got to do it all. And so we go. We enjoyed the food there. She got to play some of the games. They had stuff from like the 20s, 30s, and. So she walks in, she sees Lin-Manuel Miranda walk by, and she's like, oh, that's Jack. As we're leaving, Emily Blunt walks in, and she's got this white dress on. She looks like majestic. Right? So my daughter just stops right in front of her, like, with her mouth just open, like this angel walks in. It was really a cool sight to see.
Did she say anything?
No, she just her mouth. I mean, she's walking in here with like a bunch of people following her around. Krasinski's with her, and they just are kind of flying through. But my daughter was just able to capture that moment for a second after she just watched this whole movie of Mary Poppins. It was a special moment. So it was nice.
That's
nice.
sweet.
Yeah, it was cool. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, looking forward to you guys seeing the movie itself. Now, I don't know. Are there any more tickets left for the thing that we're doing tonight for Spider-Verse? Do you know? Is it sold out?
I think there's standby tickets now, and that much like we did with the Avengers 4.
Yeah.
So I would go to Collider.com and check it out.
So Collider.com, we just did the sold out Q&A with the Russo brothers and for the Avengers, and now we're doing Into the Spider-Verse, which is tonight at the ArcLight. If you guys want to check that out, please do so. The other thing that I'm going to be able to announce for the LA audience, there's no tickets on sale yet, and we haven't even locked it down. But I just want to let everybody know we do the Schmoedown Awards at beginning of the season. The first year we just kind of sat at a table and said, all right, this is who won. Last year we did it in studio. Yeah. And there were like 40, 50 people here, and it was a really fun time. A lot of drinking, a lot of hanging out, just having a blast. This year, it looks like I got confirmation on a venue, and we're going to open it up to the public. We're going to have competitors and public, and the Schmoedown Awards will be available for people to come and check out, and that'll be in the beginning of January. So
then I'm hosting it. So
listen,
what?
That's not out of the realm.
It's the Schmoedown.
It's actually it's not out of the realm of possibility, from considering I know where the venue's going to be.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just
I'm picking up when you're laying down.
It's possible. It's possible, but just to let everybody know, and there'll be comedic performances. There'll be, it's going to be a show. It'll be a show, so people will be able to be there and check it out.
Nickelback.
You'll absolutely be there, 100%. Everybody will be there that's involved in the Schmoedown one way or another, and friends and family and whatnot. But we thought it would be interesting and fun that we give an opportunity for the fans of the show that want to come to the actual awards themselves, and we'll let you know when those tickets go on sale. It should be sooner than later.
You don't Schmoedown, Roxy?
She does the manager.
Yeah. But you don't. You haven't competed yet.
Oh, never.
You won't ever compete.
Wait a minute.
Come on.
Wait a minute.
Unless it's TV, I won't ever compete. There is no waiting a minute.
Do you guys
I'm not
wait,
against
would you
Brett.
go
against
Really?
You don't think you
Never,
can beat? You don't think you
ever.
can beat Brett?
I don't, Christian. We go whole ones where I didn't know a single answer. What about
a
match.
new releases battle?
Let's
No.
do this. Do you see
I
the
will
light bulb
never do
above
it.
his head? Come on.
I will never do it.
Brett versus
And
Roxy.
and you
That
know
match
what's
could be
sad?
worth millions.
What's so sad is that everybody tweets at Christian being like, "Why haven't you asked Roxy on? Why won't you let her
In the
compete?"
Schmoedown, I know. I have. You were supposed to be in the Manager Bowl last year,
And I wouldn't.
and you wouldn't do it. You refused.
Yeah, I refused.
A Brett versus Roxy match
It
could
won't
be worth millions.
It's not fun to watch.
That's not true.
I don't know a single answer. I don't know
Who
the
stars?
trivia.
Who are the two stars of Green Book?
Is it Viggo Mortensen?
Yeah, and
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
oh,
It's just him.
well, you got one out of the two. Do you know the two?
No.
No.
Okay,
So-
this
I know
is
Viggo
gold.
Mortensen.
That's what I'm
This is
saying.
gold. This is gold.
We
Wait,
don't need it to
that
be. We don't need it to be a high-scoring event. We just need someone to get like 2 points.
I've seen the trailer. Who's the other person?
You know more than you.
Mahershala Ali.
Oh yeah,
You
I
knew
love
it.
Mahershala Ali.
who starred in The Disaster Artist?
James Franco.
There you go.
See?
This is gonna, again, we're gonna.
You would beat me.
I'm
100%.
Would you?
I can't.
Would
If
you
you do a
think about
TV
it?
one, I'll do it.
TV. I mean, it's too vague.
I know.
And it have to be you versus Macuga. It's not as fun.
Yeah.
Who played Doc Brown in Back to the Future?
Yeah. Well, he's gonna get that one.
I don't know.
Elliot.
His- Oh, Christopher.
Almost there.
Christopher Elliott?
No,
Christopher.
I keep thinking Lloyd. But
Yeah.
that's not-
Lloyd. You're all right.
That's his
Roxy
name?
gets a point.
We got there.
Come on.
We got there. This is
5, 4,
Three.
3.
I get
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
You would consider it.
No.
Really?
Yeah,
Come
really.
on.
Roxy, come on.
He starred as the Godfather.
Would
in
you
The
be
Godfather.
on my team against
I
him?
won't be on
gotta
your
be.
team. I won't be. I will not play.
If
I
the final
don't
score was
know.
2-1, it'd be
Would
great.
you do it in a house with a mouse? Roxy.
With a fish in a dish?
All right.
Come on. I gave you a ride to the
What
airport.
about we do a retweet contest? Like if it gets over like a certain amount of retweets,
Oh.
and then you'll do it.
I like
How
that.
do I benefit from this?
Because we'll put hashtag Collide Live and put and make sure we also put Roxy Striar on there too. Get
Yeah,
some more
people
notice.
will follow
We'll put a big
you.
picture of you on there. Yeah. Come on.
What are the fans
They'll
saying?
follow
Cobbster?
you on
What are-
Twitter.
Yeah, what are the fans saying? Do they want this match? Because I want this
I don't think so.
You don't think the fans want this match?
I
Let
thi-
me see.
Let's see.
I
What are the
literally will
fans
get
saying? Do they
no
want this match?
points. Like 0
You
points.
should-
doubt
will.
that. I doubt that highly.
You got, come
Brett,
on.
I watch. You know how often I come and watch. I come and watch all the time.
He's terrible.
I don't
Oh.
know what's. Yeah, but that's what you always say about Finstock. And Finstock
no,
is
no,
a
no,
50-50
no.
player.
Finstock can hang in the league. He couldn't hang in the league.
I walked in one morning and he was showing me the new app, the Schmoedown app, and he asked me a question about the movie I was reviewing that
He knew
day,
nothing
and
about
I
it.
didn't know the answer of the lead actress.
I'm telling you, this match would be the high score would be something like 6-3, and I would love it because it would be a funny match.
I don't know what happens to my brain when I hear trivia, but it's done.
You're not the only one. There are lots.
Do you want to know what took me until just this second to think of?
What?
Marlon Brando's name. Till just now.
Because you're under the gun.
I can't get there.
I know. But,
it's like a weird.
What are the fans saying?
Yes,
They want it.
all of it. I don't see a single.
The fans want it.
This would be.
Don't deny the fans, Roxy.
I literally gain nothing from it.
You gain the bit. The bit would be so great, and we'd be able to talk about
Kristian,
it.
you gain the bit.
You're on the show. And
You mean for this show?
For this show, we would talk about it so much after the lead up to it, the
$1
aftermath.
million.
Training.
Yeah,
We can do
yeah.
training and
Can we do a retweet contest and see how many retweets it gets? And if it gets past it, you have to do it.
It's not going to be as painful as you think.
Great.
There's a lot of people here wanting this.
There's no chance.
I would say that 95, 98, 99%
Roxy versus
wants
Brett is
because
a brilliant.
here's one guy that says no. So there you go.
Yeah.
I agree with him. It was me under the
It
table.
was you from the side just randomly writing no, and you wrote on.
They're all telling me to tell you to do it.
It
Of
gives
course
me
I'm going to tell you to do it.
agita.
Just to even
It would
think
be
about
very
it.
brave of you.
Yeah.
It'd be
Hashtag
so
so
What
brave.
do you have Snyder and
So
Andrejko
brave.
train you?
I
Yeah.
can't train for something I can't. It's not like.
New release
Here's the
battle.
thing. I watch as many movies as the rest of us. Like
Right.
I go and see everything. I don't know things.
All right, you
See,
don't.
but
so
I
you-
know
yeah.
things.
I
You
don't-
drink
I
and
drink
don't
and
know
don't know
things. Yeah.
I legit. Who did I ask? I think I asked like Clark or somebody. I asked like, how do you? I saw you training. How do you train?
Right.
And I actually it was Miss Movies.
Okay, brilliant.
I got the book that she got.
Yeah.
And I was training with my wife and stuff like just the
And
off
you
chance.
retain none of it.
I think I was doing pretty good. Some of the stuff when I watch it, I'm a lot better at getting them
That's
in the
everybody.
audience.
Yeah.
But there's something about when that
When
Under
you're
the
there,
pressure.
I have
Yeah.
under the lights. I can't. And I will say, I trained Ben Bateman for an hour a night for 2 years.
Right.
Like literally. Retained zero of it.
Right.
I would quiz him on movie release dates, like anything.
But you can't remember a single one.
Nothing.
But I will tell
I
you,
got-
We could have
and
to
it's
take
funny
the-
because you're such a great. You're one of the best managers. I mean,
I
because
get the game.
People don't.
I
I
love
know
the
you do,
game.
'cause people don't realize that on behind the scenes is just as important. People are like, what do managers do so much? Like Roxy
God, they don't know.
Roxy was calming Snyder and Andrejko down, keeping them level. Say, work with each other. Like you were like a straight up like sports coach on the side there, and it was
And
amazing.
looking at the wheel, figuring out what you respin for, what
right.
you like. Right before the match, you're not thinking about the things you need to think about. You're thinking, oh crap. So you have to actually focus
Yeah.
on what do we do if we get this? What do we give them if they get opponent's choice?
Right. No, I wish we had more behind this. We do have a lot of behind the scenes stuff on the Patreon, but I would have liked to seen. I was so impressed with the way that you were managing that team, and I think
I love that team.
It was really.
I love them.
And I think a little spoiler for right now. It looks like that team's coming back. Now we just got to figure out. We just got to figure out the side of it because Andrejko's with Emma right now, so we got to figure it out.
yeah.
But
I like Emma.
Me too. Let's see. It is 10:30. What's going on in the world of news? I know there's a lot going on, and we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, we'll
the
talk
main
Well, there's
topic,
that
but-
Roxy Brett match that's coming up. That's
the
people are
Roxy
going-
Brett match.
Literally never.
Oh man.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Avengers 4 trailer, whether or not it is going to drop on Wednesday, as the rumors point out. Captain Marvel trailer, however, is dropping tonight on Monday
I didn't
Night
understand.
Football.
People are losing their minds. Why are we getting a second trailer before the Avengers? Well, it's coming out first.
Yeah.
The movie's coming out first. And it's not like we're never getting an Avengers trailer. We're going to get one, and it's going to be the biggest sequels of all time. What are people? This just proves to me people just like the bitch. For no reason.
It's become a thing now where you have to just bitch and moan
Who
about
cares?
what's
You're
out
gonna
there.
get the trailers.
I don't get it at all. Since when are we that entitled as a people that we now have 3 trailers per movie?
Right.
Everybody shut up.
Yeah.
Why are we complaining? I would rather have an Avengers trailer than Captain Marvel. You're getting both movies. You're going to get
both
both.
trailers.
Do you know what started happening? Some of these fans were going over to the Marvel YouTube channel and starting to downlike all the
So
videos.
stupid.
Like all of a sudden there was a big swing that happened and I don't know if it's completely true, but they're like, oh yeah, they're pissed about the Avengers 4 trailer.
Millennial
Like, what is
entitlement
going
at
on?
its worst.
Why
I'm
are you
telling
doing
man,
this?
It's so stupid.
And I'm one of you guys, so I can say it.
I want it too, but at the same point, it's like
We get it when we get
we'll get it when we get it.
I want it, and I want it now.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is something you want to. This is what I don't get, because I'll watch a trailer. I want to see a trailer of something I know nothing about. If I know about Avengers and I know that I'm going to go see it
Right.
or eventually or see it, I don't care to see that trailer.
You want to learn more about Captain Marvel because you don't know enough about it.
Yeah,
right?
no, I want to just go, but I don't understand people that are huge fans of something that want to see the trailer, because I'm kind of with, I think Cobbster's not a trailer guy either.
Not at all.
No.
Nah.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing. It's like you're gonna see the movie, so why do you care so much to be see? I know you want to see because of I don't want to see anything from this new movie, from this trailer, because I don't want anything spoiled
No,
because
not
of
at
how
all.
that movie ended.
Right.
It's like we don't need a trailer.
I understand that for this, but I'm obviously going to watch it. The rumors that it's coming out on Wednesday, and we'll really get into depth on that at around 11 o'clock.
It's not a rumor; it's fact. People are saying there's a
it's
fact.
fact.
It's
When
coming.
Twitter
on
says
Good Morning
something's fact,
America.
Christian.
True. Well, it's a rumor right now that it's going to drop on Wednesday morning, and we hope that it does, because then we can just talk about it for the trailer for a while on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because
2 hours.
Well, about 2 hours, but we are looking forward to seeing the actual movie, the actual trailer. I do want to see the trailer. I'm curious about it. I like to do the speculation
I want to see
stuff.
it too.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But I'm not stomping my fist.
I want
I
to see it
really
as much
wanna
as the
see
next
it.
person.
Yeah.
But I'm going to see it when they show it to me, because I'm not making the movie.
Right. Well,
So
yeah, and it's not one of these things to where like Solo took forever to drop a trailer, right? And people were like, "What's happening? Where is this trailer?" Like something that this isn't one of those moments of like, "Why aren't they showing it to us?" There's a strategy.
Yeah.
And it was just
they're not hiding anything. It's just
insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Anyway, what else is going on?
Yeah, speaking of Marvel,
Yeah.
breaking news. Marvel is fast-tracking a Shang-Chi movie as the studio's first Asian-led superhero film. Okay. This is a Marvel, the Hands of Shang-Chi, Masters of Kung Fu. They're looking for an Asian director, and they want to make this fast.
Okay.
Wow.
So that
I don't
just
know
broke.
enough about it.
I
Where-
don't either.
Yeah.
I know Deadline. It's through Deadline. Dave Callahan, whose credits range from The Expendables, creating the TV series Jean-Claude Van Johnson, to co-writing Wonder Woman 1984, is writing the screenplay. So, I don't know a lot about this character. People were talking about the Shang-Chi character was created in the early 70s by writer Steve Englehart and artist Jim Starlin. Born out of Marvel Comics, I'm going to go to the chat, see what people say about...
I wouldn't be surprised if they get the dude. I don't know enough about the character yet.
I don't know the
Somebody
character at all yet.
But I wouldn't be surprised if the dude from Crazy Rich Asians, which I just saw recently and liked a lot, and
So good.
And what else was he in? A Simple Favor, right?
I haven't seen that one still. I hear that movie's really
watched
good.
it twice, and I watched it again with my wife the other night too. It is really good, and he's in that as well. I think that depending on the role, I don't know the role enough, but I wouldn't be surprised. He's starting to become. He's very mainstream now. They were using him for a lot of different roles. He's a fantastic actor, and it's good. I think if it once again fits in, because they have to start doing new IPs. They got to start fitting in what's going to happen after Avengers 4 and how are they going to.
Yeah.
They can't rely on the same characters. They got to create new ones. So I think this is a good move.
Yeah. I don't know that much about the character either, but it's 2018 and there hasn't been a massive Asian superhero from Marvel or DC, so about having time.
Yeah,
What do you got,
absolutely.
Brett? You got something?
Oh, I was just wondering if we should grab anybody from the office.
Well,
and-
I was thinking.
is
Well,
that-
I mean,
I don't want to.
nice. I see what you did there.
There we go.
Yeah. Well, look. The thing is, I said this last week. This is why I wish the big man was still here, because he probably knew about it inside and out. Could tell me so much about this particular character, and I'll ask Coy and Amy when they show up.
Yeah,
to-
I mean the portion I read is that he finds out his father's evil, like an evil guy, so he learns karate and goes, or kung fu, and goes back to get revenge or whatever it is. So
Just learns it real quick.
Just learns
just learns it real quick. Yeah, just
Goes
those
Dan Barnes Karate Kid.
those books, Kung Fu for Dummies.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
kind of like what it is.
Oh, he read them. Okay.
Yeah.
What else is going on in the world of movie news? Anything good?
Yeah, very cool. According to Robert De Niro, The Irishman that is going to be on Netflix, Martin
right.
Scorsese's next,
I read
will
this.
get a theatrical release.
Very limited, right?
Probably limited. I mean,
Yeah.
again, right now he's saying it's going to be in theaters. We're looking at the windows now. Netflix taking over the world, essentially. Have this big one. Roma's doing the same thing. Alfonso Cuarón's
Yeah. Well, that's what
movie.
they always do with these movies.
And so THR reports streaming service. It's going to be on the big screen before it hits Netflix.
Really? What
There's
was it?
no window. They're not saying how long, what that means.
When's
but
it supposed to come out?
it wrapped in March. It's going to premiere in the back half of 2019. We still don't know when.
So we're on the Oscar season again too. So
Yeah.
it'll be the same thing that's going on like now. You get the screeners for Roma and all those things too.
Have you seen it yet, Roma?
I have it. I have not watched it yet, though. I'm gonna
I've heard
watch it.
such mixed things on this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know what to make of it.
I'm gonna
Heard
check
great
it out.
things.
It's impossible to get my wife to watch anything.
Yeah.
It is impossible. Like, dude, it is impossible. Like, there's only certain. Last night we started watching.
She's raising your children. Leave her alone.
No. This is different. This is different. Yes to that, but when it comes to the actual movies,
But yes to that.
after that's over, we sit down and watch a movie. It takes us 2 nights to watch a movie because the baby wakes up during the first one all the time. But we will pick something. I told her, I said, look, these screeners come in. I got to watch them because I need to be caught up in all this stuff. So you got to watch them with me. So, yeah, absolutely. Bullshit. I tried to watch Roma, not into it. Last night I tried to watch Blind Spotting, which I heard was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
5 minutes into it, she's like, can we watch something else? I want to watch, we watched The Basis of Sex, which was...
How was that?
Got about an hour and 40 minutes into it, and now finished the rest of it. So far, so good.
I see my future here, Christian.
You do
This
see
is
it.
exactly
Wait till you get to two
what is
kids, yeah.
starting
Yeah.
with my
That's just
fiance
throwing
and me.
that one, right?
Oh,
What's that?
woe is
Just
you
the row.
guys.
Does she just not
so
like-
Wait,
hard to just have an amazing partner and kids. Your lives stink. That
No, I
must
didn't
be
say that.
so
I just
had notes.
challenging.
I have
Your
notes.
futures look
Yeah.
so bleak.
You know what?
Wow.
Roxy,
Thank
coming
you.
in
I
So
want to
hard.
thank you for understanding.
Yeah.
Because besides that, I got shit yesterday. I tried to be the good guy, and this is what happens, okay? She's exhausted, and what do I want to do? I said, you know what? I'm going to go to the store. And I go to Bristol Farms.
Always go to the store.
Exactly, but this time I really, and I'm gonna get it right, and the guys are gonna help me out. So I go and I'm gonna cook it up on the grill. I'm gonna get fillets. I'm gonna do everything that I can do. And I go to the store. I get the fillets. I get the sandwiches. And I said to the guy, I was like, give me a side of the potato salad. That's what my wife wanted. She had the turkey and potato salad, and then a side of it's coleslaw.
Okay.
Guy gets it ready. This guy's doing like this weird shit to where he's packaging it up, and he's working on too much shit at once. And it's
He's packaging it. Isn't that his job? He's doing this weird shit. He's packaging it.
but all at once.
His
and it's just
job.
like, but it's like he's multitasking, and I don't like it because it's like because I know
Multitasking.
something.
He messed it up.
He messed it up. So
Yeah.
here's what happened. So at the very end, I get back. I'm like, I got everything. She's like, where are my sides? This is what I needed for this. I'm like, damn it. I'll run back, and I go to get, and I was like, so I run back to the guy, and I was like, the sides, like, oh yeah, I got them. I refrigerated them for you. I was like, perfect. Okay, that's good. They're refrigerated. It was only been like 10 minutes. So I go back, and then I hear, what's this? The guy gave me egg salad instead of potato salad. Like, you son of a bitch, and it's on me. Because
Why didn't you check that?
that's what she said, but I'm like, I'm in a rush here, man. I'm just trying to figure this stuff out, and I'm looking. He scoops it up. He put it because
Now do you get it, Roxy?
I have an answer to this. I have an answer to this question.
That's so funny.
Why should I have to when I say potato salad?
Because you've lived in this world for over 40 years.
You're
and
not
you know.
wrong. But then,
know.
it's always a stressful bullshit I got to deal with when it comes to
So
shopping.
I make my
Thank
own
you,
potato
Roxy. I
salad.
appreciate
You all
it.
three have really hot wives
you.
and fiancés. Life is so
Thank you.
hard.
I'm glad that you.
My
you feel
question
good.
is, why does
not
she not
complaining.
want to watch? Is it
She's-
she
she's
doesn't like the
You said
heavy
it's a
stuff?
window to your future.
Well, sorry.
Yeah, she doesn't want to watch movies.
Brett,
That's
go
all.
ahead. What
No, but she doesn't want to watch like heavy stuff, right? She wants more lighthearted.
It just
or what's
depends.
the-
Well, we watched the other movie that we watched was Ben is Back with Julia Roberts and Lucas. What's his name?
Hedges.
Hedges. Yes. And
Boom,
what
Schmoedown. You just won.
exactly, right. So you got
Because it wasn't trivia.
It kind of was.
You just-
If I said who was the
Lucas-
kid that was starred in
You
Ben
said
is
Lucas,
Back,
I said Hedges.
what is Lucas's last name? Hedges. You got it. So it
What is Lucas's last?
Yeah, that's how the questions are too. They're all,
is. Right, thank
Roxy's
you.
on the board.
Name one Brad that acts.
Pitt.
You got it.
Oh,
Okay.
see?
But
2 points.
But I was watching this.
Cooper.
She made the point. She made this point, and it's hard for me to argue with her on this because I think Lucas Hedges is very talented. I think
too.
he's great. Manchester by the Sea, I thought he was amazing in.
Yeah.
He was in
Lady Bird.
He was in Boy Erased. No, he was.
I really wanna see that
He
one.
was in Lady Bird. You're right. But Boy Erased, he's in this year. He's in Ben is Back, and then he was in mid '90s.
What was mid 90s?
He was in the 90s in all three of those movies. And my wife said, I can't stand when they do this. And I was like, what? She's like, it's just like there are other kids that can act, and he's getting like they're bombarding you with him. She's like, it's not that he's not talented; he's very talented, but you're bombarding. I was like, she's like, it happened to Jennifer Lawrence. It happens with all these people that it's just like there are other kids. And I said, well, what's happened with Tim? Is it happened with Timothy Chalamet? And
What's Timothy's last name?
Chalamet.
Chalamet.
Geppetto.
But yeah, Timothy Chalamet, and I said, she's like, well, no, not as much because he's not popping up in everything. Even though he was in 2, he was in Lady Bird also, and then
Yeah.
obviously, but I don't know. It's I don't mind it, and I think also he's in a more of a side roles as opposed to J-Lo, who's in everything.
Yeah.
J-Law, excuse me. But I don't know. I was curious what you guys thought about that. Because he's popping in everything.
Oh, about overexposing
You
people?
think that because he's got a younger career and they just kind of rely on... There are other actors, 18, 19, 20-year-old actors that are out there that
it's tough to say because
they go to the
if
well.
you're getting that work,
How do you turn that down? I
Yeah.
think his
It's not
management
him.
team is doing
Yeah.
a great
Yeah.
job.
Oh, 100%. It's not on him
You
and
mean
his
on
team.
Hollywood?
It's on the production. It's just like, well, maybe it's the same thing. They also don't realize to where these movies also come out around the same time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they all, we got Lucas Hedges, so do we. Like, he's doing out the movie. Well, our movie comes out first.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting because with him, as opposed to Jennifer Lawrence, he is not a household name yet.
Right.
And so I think that they're doing a great job of he's booking like crazy, but he's still not the it guy.
Right.
Which is good.
I happen to agree with you. I just thought it was interesting that
No, it's a good point.
They do this for sure. Absolutely, it happens. I don't mind it with him because, like you said, he needs to be getting out there, hitting those roles, and trying to do as much as possible. Because I thought he was great in mid-'90s, and not everybody saw that movie. It's a very small release. Same thing with Ben is Back. These are not like wide-released, huge movies, as opposed to like Jennifer Lawrence, who's in all these big, huge blockbuster films. So it's just something that she brought up. But it's not the deep stuff, Brett. It's more just, the, I think, interesting stuff. And I think maybe some of it was she's just tired of every movie being about like whether it's addiction or anything too. It's she likes to be more of like the kind of casual fan.
yeah, collectively we don't watch anything that's like heavy. I don't know. It's just like we're tired and whatever, and we hit couple shows a night, one movie, and it always kind of goes to a more lighthearted place than like. Hey,
This is why TV
What's
is so good for couples.
Oh yeah, mostly we end up doing shows.
Yeah.
It's to sit down and watch a film is tough.
Well, that's why Mary Poppins, the screener, just came in too, so she'd be able to watch that at home, and that's like perfect for her. She's gonna love that movie. She was bummed she couldn't go to the premiere,
Who
obviously.
doesn't want a spoonful of sugar?
Well, they don't sing that.
Oh.
Yeah, but I feel like it's
not a
still
remake.
Yeah, no, it's a sequel.
so
yeah,
still the movie is a spoonful of sugar.
Yes, the
super fragile, casual.
no, it's not. It's not.
Super
you can get that.
califragilisticexpialidocious.
My daughter trying to sing that in the car was amazing. All right, anything else going on in news?
Jeff Snyder broke this on a Friday. Tom Hanks, speaking of Geppetto,
Yes.
Oh.
Tom Hanks is being eyed to play Geppetto in the live-action Disney Pinocchio.
Please tell me he spelled it Geppetto with a J.
He spelled it correctly.
Damn it.
Did you notice my text yesterday when we were talking about?
I did. I saw it. It was good. Geppetto, the famous JTE flub.
So we have some news, and I spelled it.
Here's my question about these live actions that doing these old movies that both of them have like questionable scenes. Like the one I was thinking with Dumbo is like, are they going to do the crows?
Probably not.
And then this one, are they going to do the smoking jackass kids and the because that thing's a little
dark. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they changed stuff. The same thing. A perfect example for that. Just in general, it's not even just a live action. My daughter's in the Peter Pan production, the Disney animated Peter Pan, and I remember watching that movie with her recently. And there's a song, "Why Is the Red Man Red?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
No. And then they changed the lyrics for my kid's school, and it's why is the brave man brave?
Huh?
And they changed it. And so there are ways to change it and make it more acceptable for today's.
Yeah, because you could do the
culture.
crows, but it's just the way that they talked was very stereotypical.
Absolutely.
So you could do,
Yeah.
because it is an integral scene of getting that feather, because that's a
Right.
big part of it.
I wonder
Here's
how
a-
they're going to do it, because that was very controversial.
The thing I feel about Dumbo, I want to get your take on this. I don't think the animals are going to talk. Like, I feel like it's going to be kind of like Cinderella. The mice didn't talk.
It seems like they're gearing it around the adults.
The adults are there,
it's not
but it's like
Lion King.
Yeah, the Lion King, they're going to talk.
Right.
It's Jungle Book, they talked.
Right.
But there's something about...
Yeah.
I love it when you do that. Yeah, there's something about... So, to your point, I don't think we're going to have a bunch of talking
Oh, so there's not going to be
crows.
singing and...
I don't know.
We haven't seen
I
it in the
don't know.
trailer so far
Well,
that
the
it looks
trailer,
like that.
the trailer.
Where's
there's no
the trailer?
talking.
What are they
Dumbo?
doing?
Oh,
Give
so-
us the trailer.
Yeah, I need it now.
That was good. That was
You
good.
looked at me like, are you
I'm like,
How
it's
is
been like
Avengers
2
4?
trailers already.
Yeah, the fans have just been downvoting all the elephant videos on YouTube. It's
Yeah.
weird.
I want a Dumbo trailer before
so
a Pinocchio
weird.
one.
I
Right.
need to know if he gets drunk and hallucinates.
I
Yeah.
deserve
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I've earned it.
I think they actually showed footage of that. I mean, that's perfect for Tim Burton. He was made for the pink elephants scene.
I
for
think
sure.
I think they did show it. It's almost like it's a presentation in the circus, like a
Yeah.
show. So we're not getting like some acid flashback thing here. It's actually a part part of the narrative and the story.
Do you
That's
think
what
he
it seems
does drugs?
like. Who? Tim
Dumbo?
Burton?
Burton
Ever?
does.
Oh, I don't know. I have
would-
no idea. I mean, it depends on what, like smoking the pot.
Yeah, just in general.
But she smokes a doobie here and there.
He's
Yeah.
a cool dude.
Yeah.
You know,
I
the
want to hang. Can I
psilocybin
come?
Smoke a doobie with Tim Burton.
magic mushrooms have
fun.
just been approved by the FDA
Yeah,
to
I
be used
saw.
for
Depression.
depression. Yeah.
Really?
What?
Look at that.
Microdosing. It's a thing people have been doing pre-legally.
Yeah, but I microdosed the other day, and it was not a microdose. Woo!
You macroed. You
On what?
macroed.
On what?
On mushrooms,
Shrooms?
yeah.
Really?
I've never, and I don't think I ever can.
Never done
I'm
the
s-
shrooms?
Yeah, I can't. I'm afraid.
You would be afraid
They're
of shrooms.
they're
You'd love it.
awesome unless they're not.
You see, that's the thing. That's
Yeah.
what stops
Bad
me.
trip.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
do that.
But that's what
Unless it-
microdosing is about these days, and that's why a lot of people are doing that.
Put it in a soup.
But if that's the problem. You don't.
soup.
The people who are making it, which is the same thing. Remember when we were younger with edibles, you would sometimes somebody would have a brownie and it would be like and the other
Pink
person
elephant.
wouldn't feel anything.
Yeah. Right.
Because you can't do it if you're not like scientifically doing it all.
Right.
And that's why with mushrooms it's a lot safer if there is somebody who is with the science.
Right.
A pharmacist, not a guy in overalls.
Yeah,
with a shirt?
because
No.
I got obviously a ton more than everybody else did with my little piece than
Yeah.
everybody else.
Yeah. Before we go to break, 'cause we'll take an earlier break and come back. I would like to give condolences to the Bush family. George Bush Sr. passed away over the weekend, President of the United States, and I saw an image that I thought was really
With the service dog.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
During
That broke my heart.
That broke
the
my
dog
heart,
was,
too.
waiting there. He was 95, yes?
Yeah.
95 years old, and and again, I don't want politics aside here. He was.
There's nothing to do with
Nothing to do with
politics.
politics.
Yeah.
It's all about. He was a father. He was a leader. He did a lot of great things for the country. He did a lot of things that in general, I think that should be when you remember to where you look at. It was really tough because when this article when I heard the news and because we live in such a silly a strange time right now,
Divisive times.
divisive time, and he dealt with. Every politician does, right?
Yeah.
Back and forth. But once again, the things that he was able to do, from being the vice president to being the president of the United States, and wanted to make sure that we mention and give our respects to George Bush Sr. So.
Yeah.
Not the time for
absolutely.
people to be tweeting their opinions on him as a president. It's so strange.
Look
that
at him as a
people
human
are.
being,
Yeah.
not a
I thought
politician.
I thought he was a decent man, and I listen to the Daily every day. It's a New York Times podcast, and they did a feature on him. But Barack Obama lands in Texas, and he gets out, and there's HW in his wheelchair, and the Secret Service comes there and goes, "Why are you here?" He's like, "Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter. When my president is visiting my town, I come to
Right.
show
President of the
old
United
school.
States,
Yeah, he was
yeah.
old school and he respected the badge.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I thought that was great.
I agree, and I'm glad that you said something. Did anybody else feel as if this was not covered as much as I feel like it wasn't talked about as much that he passed away.
I
as
saw a
opposed to-
lot of. I
Yeah.
mean, I went
Really?
down
Yeah.
the rabbit hole yesterday, just kind of reading a lot of.
When I was going down the rabbit hole, but I don't know, it was so weird. I feel like
Depends.
nobody called, I feel like if I had been off Twitter for the day, the next day it was
I
not
mean,
being
I noticed
I heard a lot about- yeah.
Really?
I noticed
Yeah.
a lot of coverage.
Yeah.
Good.
I thought it was good. Like it took over all the websites,
Right.
like
As it should have.
Good.
stories
good.
and whatnot.
Yeah,
So-
as it definitely should. Just
Right.
to me, I thought it was undercovered, but maybe I'm looking in different places.
But anyway, just wanted to pay respects to our former president,
Rightly so.
George Bush Sr. We're going to go to break here, guys. When we get back, we're going to get a little bit more about our speculation as far as what we hope to see in Avengers 4 trailer, when we think it's going to drop. And
We
we're gonna
know when.
Yeah, we're going to take some calls. Make sure you hashtag Collider Live. Get some questions in there, and we'll take a few calls at the end, too. Peace.
Hello there. No, it's not late to the party. That's actually from Obi-Wan Kenobi. You didn't know that? Well, you should, and now you do. Jedi Council. What is it? It's about Star Wars, obviously. It's Jedi Council. Every week, the latest and greatest in Star Wars movie news. Myself and Ken Knapsack, that's right, the pit boss himself. We have a guest on, and we talk about everything happening in the world of Star Wars. If it's the movie news, the TV news, canon news, comic books, games. And then we take questions from you guys on Facebook and Twitter. It's a lot of fun. We've been doing it for a couple of years now. I'm still excited talking about it. The fan base is coming together again. I believe it is. I think it is. I hope it is. And we're talking Star Wars, so we'd like you That's right, all of you. If you're not a fan of Star Wars, come on over and join us every Thursday for Collider Jedi Council here on Collider Video. And we have an Apple Podcast feed or Podcast One, wherever you want to go if you listen to podcasts. And not only do you get Collider Jedi Council every week on Thursday, The Rule of Two with Mark Fernandez and Mark Reilly, that's on every week. I believe it drops on Wednesday. It's on one of these days. It's a good show. You should listen to it. I like it. I listen to it. I haven't listened to it once.
Hey guys, Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com. And if you're a pro wrestling fan, which I hope you are, even if it's in secret, then you should be checking out Wrestling Sheet Radio Weekly. We've got a bunch of shows in the podcast feed. We've got weekly recaps from myself and John Roca, which you guys will probably know from the Collider family. That's for Raw, that's for SmackDown. We've also got the weekly roundup of wrestling news. It's a show I host called Wrestling Sheet Radio with Jamie Iovine and Elijah Bates. And we've also got a bunch of other stuff in our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/wrestling sheet. So check it out, subscribe, and I hope you guys dig it.
Hey everyone, Mark Ellis here. You know, when I'm not trying to clone dinosaurs or drinking at my neighborhood watering hole, I am probably hosting Collider Movie Talk. It's a flagship show here at Collider. I like to say that because I'm the host of it. It's every day, almost. It's 4 days a week, which is still pretty good, above 50%. You can watch it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 4 p.m. Los Angeles time is when we do it. It's live, so you can participate in the live chat room. Go ahead and give us your thoughts on every story we have coming because it's all the latest movie news of the day. Who did what at the box office? What horrible Redbox movies Bruce Willis signed on to? The DC, the Marvel, the Star Warses, the Lord of the Rings. Are they making new? I think it's a TV show, and we still might talk about it anyway because we love movies around here. It's myself and an expert panel of guests, including John Roca, Perry Nemiroff, Jeff Snyder, and other noted noters of note. You guys are going to love this show, and then we take your live Twitter questions at the end of the show at Collider Video. You can always use the hashtag Collider Movie Talk to get in touch with us, so subscribe right here to Collider Video. Check out Movie Talk, and check out the Collider Movie Talk podcast feed. We have a podcast feed now. You don't have to look at this handsomeness. You can just listen to it, whether you're driving to work, whether you're driving from work, or you don't have a job, but you have a basement and ears. You can listen to Collider Movie Talk's feed. You can get it at Apple Podcasts or on iTunes. You also get Mailbag. That's the show that's hosted by Perry Nemiroff a lot more professionally than I run this pirate ship. That's our weekend show where she takes your letters. I don't know if you write them or you email them. You have to ask her. And Afterthoughts, hosted by Ryan Snelling and Jay Williams. I almost said Ryan Williams and Jay Snelling. Would anybody have known the difference? I certainly would. I would have felt bad about it because I'm a nice person, and that's why I host Collider Movie Talk. Check it out in video form or on our podcast feed.
What's up, Collider fans? If you are a fan of television and you want to watch a guy that looks like me and a guy named Thad Williams talk about TV every single Friday, subscribe to the Collider channel. Collider Podcast is where you can find the video. We have our own iTunes feed, hashtag at Collider TV Talk. You can find on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts and you listen to them in your ear holes. That's where Collider TV Talk comes at you. We talk about TV news. We talk about shows we love, shows that we don't love, and most importantly, we don't read any books because TV has nothing to do with reading. We also have a show called Hypothetical Questions with myself and Roxy Striar and all kinds of reviews right here at the Collider Podcast channel and the Collider TV Talk feed. Subscribe, rate, like, tell your friends, tell all your friends and tell their friends, and before you know it, it's a pyramid scheme of television. I'm Josh Macuga. You can see Thad Williams and myself along with Roxy Striar and all the Collider personalities all the time right here on Collider TV Talk. As always, put down the book, pick up the remote.
Hey everyone, I'm Scott Movie Mance, and just to let you know, if you already don't, every Friday here on Collider Video, I host a weekly film review series called Movie Review Talk. The title says it all. Every week I'm joined by two guest critics of my choice, and they're never the same. We review the new films. We pick something that's streaming that you might not know about, but is really great. And we pick a Blu-ray for something that you might have missed in theaters. It is fun. It is infectious. It is the Citizen Kane of movie review shows, and it's only right here on Collider with this guy, Scott Movie Mance, Mr. Movie Release Dates himself. Check it out every Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, only on Collider Video.
Oh, love this score. The great Alan Silvestri. As we were back on Collider Live, we're going to talk about the Avengers in a second. Reilly brought something up that I forgot about that I saw. It's so stupid, man. It's like, and I saw Ryan Satin's lady had posted this thing out about this Huffington Post video they did about the classic Rudolph the Reindeer thing, and it's just like, dude.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So you remember the old series, right? It was just such a super left wing liberal, like it's just what I hate about it. It's so. Like everything.
I don't remember the series. What are you?
Rudolph.
There's Rudolph, and they say Rudolph was. If you look at it, Rudolph was bullied, and Rudolph.
Oh.
But the whole point is that how he comes back. The whole thing is like Rudolph. His dad was abusive, and Santa was a dick. It's like it's a kid show that was made in the '60s. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So you're not saying the show was liberal. You're saying the article.
No, the
the
show
article.
movie. It's the movie.
The
The
movie.
Rudolph
Oh,
movie.
the movie.
Yeah.
The movie.
Yeah.
The
Oh.
movie that they put.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah, he
that-
said show, but he meant the
Well,
regular.
whatever. It's on TV, so
Yeah.
it's considered a show. But it was the Huffington Post video that they did, and it's like it was meant to push buttons. It did. It's so dumb.
God,
it's
that thing
so
just everybody started yelling again
because it's
This
so
and that.
dumb. It's like it's a movie that it was made in the '60s, and it's the way that the times were at the time. And the whole thing is that Rudolph comes back like, oh, he's exploited at the end. The only reason Santa wants him is because he's beneficial to him at the end. And it's like, come on, this is what you're doing in your spare time, is going back and picking out pieces to just get people rattled. Everyone bitches about everything. Nobody has a backbone anymore.
Controversial take. I think people could use to get bullied a little more these days.
I know you said that. I don't know about that. I'm going to go against that take.
I don't actually mean that, but it's so frustrating. Like I was talking to this guy last night who was telling me a story about an artist friend of his that, he gets one bad comment and he's like, I can't be here anymore. I just can't handle this.
Right.
My whole life is over. I gotta call my parents and tell them that I'm in a dark hole and they have to come get me out.
Right.
It's just like, grow some fucking, that's one, thicker skin.
Balls. Oh.
Balls too, but like you have to thicken your skin a little bit because otherwise when actual life hurts, what are you going to do?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't mean people should actually get bullied, but like
You just want people that would be a little
I don't
thicker
think
skin.
everybody should
Yeah.
be nice to each other all the time because that's not the world we live in. If that was, I would love that, but it's not. So
I just hated it so much. The one thing that I did, like going over what you just said, so director Scott Derrickson, right? He'd been going back and forth with it. Did you see this?
Yeah.
With this
Yeah.
with this
I
film
saw that
critic
just this
from,
morning.
I guess maybe the Washington Post. I don't know what it was, but they
Yeah,
were going-
Washington Post. Yes.
And this guy was just kind of picking on Derrickson, like here it was
Called him a knob on Twitter.
like just kept going after
Knob,
him.
and then said something that he's like Otto from A Fish Called Wanda, which I love that movie.
Yeah.
Otto is not a smart man in the
Right.
movie. That's the whole point. He thinks he's an intellectual,
Right.
but he's really dumb.
So he kept going after Derrickson, and Derrickson finally had enough. He said basically what you said, but that, I think a little bit more warranted to where he was going to say, I might just get off of Twitter. I had enough. And he had such an outpouring of people that don't do that. Listen, we love you here, and they supported him over this guy who was just kind of going after him. And I read that too. The guy was kind of a douche.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was Derrickson being like overly sensitive. I thought it was. He's like, look, and he said in his tweet, he's like, you don't have to like my movies. He's like, that's not what I'm saying here. It's like I respect film criticism, and he could have done what a lot of filmmakers do, and he didn't, and I applaud him for it. A lot of times when it comes like a situation like this, filmmakers in the past will go after critics in general and saying how just destroying critics.
This
or
is
people
why
who review-
critics
all that stuff, and there was he didn't go after that at all. He actually went the opposite. I respect critics and criticism, and I understand that when it's done well, it's necessary. And he was very intelligent about it, the way that he broke it down. And it was he was more like saying, "This is just a guy who's just coming after me because he doesn't like me." And I've had enough of it. So that I don't know why I went down that rabbit hole looking at those tweets, but I happen to think that guy's.
Well, bullying is different though. I mean, it's a lot more polarized now. Because like, if you got bullied when there was no internet, you just the kid bullied you,
right?
And that was a thing between you and the bully. It wasn't
or his friends.
Put out on Facebook and all these things. So I think that kids are really getting bullied.
It's different.
Hard.
100%.
Yeah.
Listen, what I just said was a total twat take, and it's not, I'm not even standing by it. But the difference between the 9-year-old guy kid who came out and said he was gay, and everybody bullied him, and he ended up committing suicide. That's bullying. That's actual bullying,
Right.
and it's horrible. But somebody saying that they don't like your shirt is not bullying. And so what people are identifying as bullying sometimes is not, and it takes away the power of the word. Because when you're being teased for who you are, and when you're being thrown into lockers, and when you're being put down, and you're not being stood up for, and you don't have a safe place to be, that's bullying, and it matters, and it's horrible. but the other things are not.
Well, it's everything. It's everything. It's extreme though. It's extreme on everything. It's like people. It's very similar. We talked about Reilly. You know, with Twitter now, somebody has somebody wants to go after somebody. They just throw rocks on Twitter and they don't even think about it. And I see it all the time with people in our space who just go after people all the time. Just go right after them. They don't. And when you have a direct line to them, to where you can say, hey, you know what? I'm going to email you. There's something that I'm curious about that I want to know, whether it's about you or your company or whatever it is. I have a direct line to you. We've worked together in the past. Let's do that. Let's have a conversation. But no, they don't. They have this. They want. I have a voice now, so I'm going to scream out and here's. I'm going to be accusatory towards you. I'm going to say this about you. I'm going to accuse you of being this. And it's like. You got to be, because of what you just said. You got to be very careful about that, because if it's legit, then you want it to be legit, and you want to make sure that you go after people who are, let's say it's racist or sexual harassment or whatever it may be. You want to get these motherfuckers. You want to get them.
That's two.
But it's fine. It's actually three. But if you want to go after, but you have to be careful, because if you just do it and just throw these things out there, it's going to devalue your word. Right. And you don't want to do that. And it happens all the time. I can't tell you how many people out there, again, whether it's our space, other things, their word isn't as valued anymore, because it's like, oh, there they go again.
Yeah.
There they go again, as opposed to, whoa, wait a minute. I've never heard that person say something. I'm paying attention here, because what they're saying, this is legit.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it happens all the time.
I know what you're saying with the direct line too, and I don't think that our one-on-one has dropped yet, but
this week
there's a part in it where everybody can listen to more about this. But it's like, I had a direct line to somebody, so did I go and did I tweet out how I felt about the situation?
Right.
No, because that's not helpful. It's attention driven.
Right.
And so if you can handle it with somebody one-on-one, or you can actually get to the root of the problem, then that's the smarter move.
That's exactly right, because look, there are times when you don't have a direct line. There are times when you're just a voice out there that you don't have help, and social media is very beneficial that way, to where you can start to get your word out, because like, well, I didn't know how else to do it. But like you're saying, for particular things, and we'll cover that, it's covered in depth on the one-on-one, that you just said, I'm waiting for someone to ask me.
Yeah.
No one asked me.
It's still, and the problem is, it's still the Wild West in terms of this. You've been dealing with the social media thing longer than I have, but I don't think I could give my children any sort of advice on, like, I don't know what okay, so I got beat up when I was a kid, and I went home crying with grass stains, and went to my mom. My mom knows about that sort of a thing, because there were bullying when she was a kid. That was the same kind of thing.
It's not a new concept.
If I went home and I said, hey, everybody's calling me this on the internet, and I want to kill myself, well, what do we do about the internet? It's there, and so it's, how are parents parenting when they don't know this thing?
That's a great point also, because here's another thing too, where when you would think that the answer would be, well, honey, don't read the comments, don't look at social media, but it is so hard. Like, there are, again, people who I know very close that the advice I give them all the time is, don't read the comments. Don't pay attention. Don't be on social media, because it's overwhelming you, and you're becoming too stressed with it, and it is not helpful to you.
Right.
And it happens to a lot of people that we know, whether it's in the space here, in the Schmoedown, in sports, whatever it might be, right? If it's just too much, if it's overwhelming on that side, this is adults. You want to stay away from it. Because you're not going to change people's opinions. You're just never going to.
I don't know that many people that are like me that truly are not affected by it. Read every comment.
Right.
Don't give a fuck.
And I believe that about you.
100%.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't
because
do
you
it.
never complain. You never come to me and be like,
They're writing in the comments.
What they're saying.
I send you things I think are funny.
Right, you know it's coming now.
But I read them because I do think it makes me better at my job, because 1 in every 500 comments is something that I'm like, oh, I could work on that.
Right.
That's something I actually should try to implement. But for most people, the advice is, don't read the comments.
Stay away from them.
I don't know as a parent, Brett, I don't know how to teach it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, those people's voices doesn't matter. That's a huge problem that I have no idea how.
And something that they should be talking. I mean, it should be in school. There should be these things of like navigating the internet and navigating the social media world.
Shouldn't it be taught in school? We should be more proactive and less reactionary. How to comment as opposed to how to. I mean, we should do both, but it's like, shouldn't people be taught that it's not nice?
Yeah, I think it's still a wild, wild west.
Yeah.
It really is still.
It is.
It's like, don't go in the saloon and shoot somebody. Really? Oh, but that's what the guy
That's what
just
they
did last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like it's weird. But
I just have never left a comment like that. Like, this is bullshit. I hope you guys choke on your own cocks and die. Like, what?
right.
Like, why? Who sits there and thinks of that? I've never
because
left
that's
a
not-
comment because I've never had the thought before.
Because the thing is, to a lot of the people there, whether it's this show or whatever, we're not real to them. We're characters on a show. Yeah. We don't affect them. We don't run into them. They don't see us. And if they do, they wouldn't write that.
I talked about this on Reilly Roundtable. Remember, I love that fans, that followers, whatever you guys are called. I hate the word fans, but you guys are the people that have helped with my career. I love that they're there, but they don't know me.
Right.
You don't know me personally, so it's different sometimes. Right. You know a lot about me, but when you're commenting things about my life, like about my family, about my choices, my relationships, what?
Well, that's the trick of it, is because you are one of the most open and honest people that I know in this space.
So open.
So when we have a conversation, a lot of the times, even for the one-on-one, it's like an hour-and-a-half interview, and you open up more than maybe any guest that I've ever had. And as we're talking, it's just like, it's because you're comfortable with me. It's because that's how you are. But with that, the people that are rewatching it, they feel like they have this insight to your life, but they don't know the extreme. They know a portion of it. They know an hour and a half of a summarized version of the
27
things.
years.
Right.
And I do that because I want people to know they're not alone. I've been through the ringer before. We talk about some of the incidents in my life that show that, but I want people to know, guess what? I'm actually pretty successful now, and you can be too. Like, not that I'm the success story.
No, but you do it. I don't want to spoil the episode.
Right.
But there's a road that Roxy was on, and it was not a great road. And the road, there's a choice, and there was a particular moment in her life which I thought it was amazing that she painted the picture really, really. I could see it. I remember it really well. And then instead of making a left turn towards the chaos, she made a right turn.
Right.
And it's a really good story.
But that's why I talk about it. So then for people to throw that in my face and be like, oh, you're a cunt, you're a bitch.
But you're expecting that now.
Whatever.
That's the thing, though.
Yeah, it is what it is. I really don't pay mind to it. It's just other people do. So I don't like to promote that kind of behavior, because it's like, for people like your kids, Brett's kids, that are out there, that now that's the kind of thing that we're expecting. I don't know how you grow up in a world like that. I didn't grow up in that world.
No, there is. They don't have this thing for, and I wasn't going to talk about it, but I'll do it anyway too. It'll probably, put a flame in it even more so. But like, it's one of these things to where when my brother passed away, I knew that there would be some person, whether or not who would be some, there are evil people out there. There are people. And I was like, there'll be somebody who does something stupid. And then it didn't happen for a bit. And then there was somebody who started to put fake accounts as my brother's name. And things, all these different things about it, and he's still doing it. I had to get like a private investigator. I had to I can find.
You're talking about social media accounts?
Yeah, it's on Instagram, and I know who the person is now, and I have people that were telling me to get police officers involved, telling me to do all this stuff to take them down. I know the person's name, I know where they live, and all this stuff, but I'm not doing it yet, and it's like one of these things to where it's just to have someone that's able to do that, because they don't know me. Right? They think they have
don't
this version.
know
It's the
you.
same person who wound up getting my phone number, calling me and saying, you have terrible taste in movies, because it's just like it's first of all, I think the person's mentally damaged. I think he's a mentally disturbed
Who has
person.
that
Obviously.
time?
Well, but it's one of these things.
This is a full-time job to troll you.
But it's one of these things. It's just like it's a stalker territory type thing. That's what they were told. I was told by multiple people, to even the police officer I spoke to, is like, we can knock on the door and take care of this today.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it yet. But the point is that it's a matter of that someone could do that because they don't think
There's any repercussions.
Well, no, not just that. I'm a person on the microphone that they just see that they could do this. They had, I found access, so I can just do it. Same thing with you. Same thing with the people that are out there. But it's like, this is the problem with social media and everything in general. It's just, I don't know, will it ever stop being the Wild Wild West? I don't know. I don't know how you do it. Because it's the same thing.
We have to teach people how to treat people. It's like retraining people how to treat other people.
Exactly. I had a friend of mine say recently, go, this is probably a couple months ago, and they tweeted at me. Again, same thing. Direct line to me and tweets at me and says, you have the ability to moderate the comments in the Schmoedown. Do it. I'm like, I do? I'm like, I can delete as many as possible, but we have like 2 matches and it's like, you have to protect the people that are competing. I was like, as much as I can. I'm like, I can't. You want me to just sit by my computer? Oh, here's another asshole. Here's another asshole. It's like you got to stay at it. It's like what comes on me because I run the damn thing. But it's like, what can I do? It's like
you're putting band-aids on it when you're doing that, and there are now settings that you can block certain words, and the comments won't even get posted if they use those words.
Oh, really?
But you don't think if I block the word dick, somebody's going to post cock, penis, longhorn, like what? I can't think of all of the words that you could use for that word or for any of the other words. So there's no. I know over at Screen Junkies, they're like, great, we blocked all of these words. And they're still like you can't.
Oh, they'll find it.
They find you find a different word. There's no world in which we can think of all of the words that could be offensive.
It's really just kind of just complaining about it at this point.
Well, and then you're censoring. So then you're censoring them. We don't want to censor ourselves, but then we're censoring people.
Right.
But you just hope that they. Yeah.
Well, you want people to be better, but again, I say the same thing all the time. The greatest person you know has access to the internet. The worst person you've ever seen on television, murderers, rapists.
If Hitler was alive today, he had access to the internet.
social media. Yeah. So like that, the thing is, it's like when you see something like, wow, how could someone write that? How could someone kill a baby? How could someone do it? Those people have access to social media. So that's the thing we don't put two and two together.
It's not just how, it's why. And that's what I feel like we're not addressing as a society. How physically they typed it. Why?
Because again, damage inside of their own brains, damage inside of mental stuff that happened to them in their past, the not being able to relate to real people. It's just a whole thing. But
it's a mixture of everything. Because I've had like. I don't think I've had nearly as many bad things like said to Roxy because I think just women in general in the space. I feel like I can't even complain. But I've gotten stuff before where it's like, oh, your mother sucks cock in hell type shit.
Right.
And it's the second that you respond to them, they see that you're a human being.
Oh yeah.
And I've gotten things where people tweeted to me, I responded back to them. I was like, hey, that's not nice. You immediately get like a direct message saying, sorry, I'm in this place.
Having a bad day.
It all depends. It's all over the place. It's all fucked.
Like, here's a rule of it, just a guideline. Don't talk about any of our moms.
Oh.
Like, that's not a legitimate thing to...
Yeah, somebody called my mom a cunt.
Yeah.
And I went off.
I don't get that.
They're going to say anything. Father, mother, sister, your brother.
They're going to say the guys in back are boring as fuck.
That guy's cool.
My thing is, I just think that...
They're also here for the Avengers 4 talk, and they want us to stop.
But what I wish the people would do, I don't give a fuck what they want.
I don't care. I'm watching them scream at the toys.
I want the trailer.
So, hey, every single person that's writing, I want you to watch the Avengers 4 talk. Go wait until either movie talk or anything happens. Go watch that show. Drop out of the chat room right now because now I'm not going to talk about it. So I'm not going to talk about it. So please.
We're going to talk about bullying for the rest of the show.
Yeah, everybody,
this person is great.
Please,
this person is awesome.
Everyone who's not here doesn't understand that hashtag that's a show. Please drop out of the chat room. Don't come back and watch the show. We don't want you as viewers. Thank you.
You are the problem, not you, Kristian. Like. Why do?
I don't want. I mean, the thing is, it's one of these people who just see the title of the show and don't understand what the show is. We don't want you as viewers. Go away.
We're talking about how it's mean to say mean things to people, and people are writing as we're talking about that. The guys in the back are boring. That's mean.
Right.
Well, did your brain at any point think this is nice? This is a helpful, thoughtful comment.
But this is why I brought to the attention of the fact that the podcast to me is like, and I'm really excited how many more people have been listening to the podcast version in general of this show, of movie talk, of one-on-one. That's really what I'm hoping more and more people do is the audio because this is a 2 hour.
Then I don't have to do my makeup.
Well, but this is a 2-hour show, and when people are driving at the gym, I think it's easy to take in. You get the turds on wheels who are sitting around going, "Oh, I see an Avengers title! Oh, click! What the hell?
And
they're talking about social media? My balls stink!"
Yeah, and then take to name calling and those guys over there, they're boring. And then people
idiots.
Yelling and starting shit.
They're complete and utter idiots. And that's
zero picture. It's a blank avatar. So you're hiding. Hasn't said a word since.
Put your name.
Shocked.
Put your name. So you want to have the balls. The person who's talking shit.
Put your name and your address.
Put your name and your address in there.
Yeah.
Put your mother frickin' address.
Put your name, your address. Say this is who I am, and this is what I say. That to me is brave. Like
Hashtag. You want to be hashtag so brave? You want Roxy's title?
Right. Then that's what you do.
Put your address in there.
Haven't banned this person. Yeah. And they're gone. They're probably maybe they're having a bad day.
No, they listened to
But
they listened to my advice and they took off.
I
Go ahead.
No, Brett, you go ahead.
I hope we lost like 50 people. I really hope we did.
My son
Numbers
was
are going
being
up right now in the line. So.
My son was being bullied, and that was the thing I had to tell him, though, is that I do realize some of these kids have some shitty stuff going on in their life, and they're turning it around towards other people.
Right. That's
You know,
right.
like I always, he's like, yeah, this kid's picking my. I go, well, he could be having something at home. I know the kids that bullied me had some shitty stuff going on at home.
Right.
You know, so.
Well,
but,
Kathy Kelly was on one-on-one, and we talked about that too. Same thing. Like there was she had gotten bullied, and the kids that did it went through some shit, and that's usually what happens. So hopefully all
and
this.
that's the teaching, as Rocky said.
Right.
We've got to teach them how
But
to interact. with
should be a class? Like, should
I
elementary
think
school
so.
incorporate
Maybe.
a social
and
class?
this is what I'm glad. I hope all those people dropped out because let's talk about the Avengers. So
let's do it.
The
Now
event.
that they're
I
gone.
pee sitting down, by the way.
That's what I was hoping.
That's what the chat wrote. You pee sitting down.
Good.
I mean,
sometimes
just,
you don't want to wait
and
up
they
the
try.
kids.
They double down, and,
Yeah.
and what they don't know is that if you're cursing and whatnot, like we're holding some of these comments. I'm looking at them. You're screaming to nobody because
Doesn't
I
matter.
just
Don't-
hide it.
It doesn't matter.
I think they said Cobbster pees sitting down.
Oh, good.
They said
Good
Cobbster,
for you.
Which
Wait,
is
there
very
you go.
comfortable.
Comfortable,
Compliment or insult?
That's a compliment. I mean,
get
Like,
what
that's
they're
not because you're
relaxing.
talented. You're different.
Yeah.
I also pee sitting down. So
Yeah.
Hey,
Listen, you have a
I
long,
sit in the
you have a long,
urinals.
you got a long week. You sit in the urinals. That's a talent.
I take a hot bath
Take a
every
shit
night.
right in the urinal.
in the
Like-
in the pee.
No, just a little hot bath every night. I
Do you
don't
with the
shower.
candles?
Yeah, I don't do
Oh,
candles,
dude.
but I do like sometimes
Like
the
Chandler
little
Bing.
bath beads and
Bath bomb?
You don't shower at all.
I
No.
shower occasionally, but I usually like
Use
it.
the
Well,
bath.
I've washed. I am a germaphobe too, so I wash first.
This is-
Quick
this is a
wash,
person with
and
older
then,
kids, though. You
Then
can't do
I
that with a
take a
baby.
bath. Oh yeah, because what's nice is that I've set
do
a
you mean?
precedent.
I don't have time to do that.
Oh, it's a time thing.
Yeah.
Oh no, but see, Monty's like, go take your bath because
Yeah.
that's my
That's
get
your
away
time to get
and
away.
relax time. So everybody,
see,
the kids know it.
I just stole Paul Rudd's. This is like what's it called? This is 40.
Oh yeah,
This is 40.
Sit on the pot.
I'm in the shitter, and I'm just checking emails for like a half an hour.
Yeah, okay.
All right, let's move on. So, what's the deal
Ooh,
here, Ryder?
Roxy P standing
are we
up.
getting? Are we getting?
I
mean-
enough. Are we getting the trailer on Wednesday? Or are we not?
All signs are
what's
pointing.
happening?
Now, the one site I'm going to kind of listen to is Cinema Blend covered this, and that they gave a hat tip to a bunch of people, but Slash Film was one of them. They're saying that they're hearing that Marvel will drop the Avengers 4 trailer on Wednesday at Good Morning America, but Marvel hasn't confirmed yet. Neither has GMA, and some people are saying no, GMA has confirmed it. I haven't seen it yet.
Do you
So
ever
if you want to
feel
show
like-
me that announcement, I haven't seen it yet. So it's a rumor right now.
What I will say is that Slash Film is my number one favorite for obviously after Collider for
Good save.
getting my comic book news.
Yeah.
And Cinema Blend is right up there as well. Those
Yeah.
are two really reputable ones that I would like to believe. But do you ever think that these sites announce it and then Marvel's like, never mind, we're pulling back on that.
Yeah, see, the only thing is if Good Day America actually was because they're ABC, so it would make sense that they would announce it because they want to get the ratings up, right, to get it out there. So it just depends on who the inside person is that they're talking to.
Yeah.
I don't think that they ever. I don't think that they would willingly, Good Morning America would say, let's give it to Collider, and then. Oh, you know what? They're reporting on it. We gave them that scoop. Forget it. Probably not. They like to get ahead of it.
Oh, GMA just said that Reilly sits peeing down or he's sitting down because
a whole
he
report on it.
made
I would believe that this is the case that Wednesday, if that's what they're saying, when
Yeah.
there's smoke,
Yeah.
there's fire a lot of the time. Reputable sources.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what has been confirmed is Captain Marvel tonight on Monday Night Football.
Right. So
All
we'll
right.
get Captain Marvel trailer 2 tomorrow that we'll talk about on this show. For a
Yeah,
while.
we'll talk about it tomorrow. But could it be that we're going to get the Captain Marvel trailer? That's going to take over the conversation today, tomorrow, and then they drop Avengers, or they don't do it because they want to keep the attention on Captain
here's
Marvel.
the thing. Maybe Captain Marvel is in the trailer for the second one too. So maybe they
Maybe.
want to release something to let you know, to set you up that hey, because we have to market it this way, even though the movie comes out, we teased it in the post-credit scene of the first movie that she's going to be involved, and now here's the movie, and here's how it's going to be involved. Maybe not, but I'm just saying.
I completely agree, Christian.
Yeah.
I think if they're dropping these so close to each other,
There's a reason.
That means that they're both ready, which means that they're hearing people say that they know that people wanted the Avengers one first. There's a reason there's this order. There's a reason that there might be back to back or one day apart. We don't know what it is because guess what? We're not dialed into the conversation.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't work for them.
Right. I just don't.
But
care
it matters.
I just don't care until I see it.
That's what we need to learn from this.
know.
This is big stuff that needs to be argued.
What?
Yeah, no, I just find it weird that it became a thing that these trailers not coming out, so people start yelling.
Well, but let's get away. We talked about that.
Yeah, let's take some phone calls.
So
no,
right
not
now
yet.
there's So but basically it's not yet confirmed.
Yeah, what do you
That's
think we're
it.
going to see? Let's get to the fun, positive side of
And
this.
who do we think we're going to see?
Yeah, because we know again that what they're going to show. Again, if you haven't seen the first Avengers, and you shouldn't be watching this conversation. So what I think will probably happen is you're going to have Tony Stark, the people who
That
survived,
didn't disappear.
and Paul Rudd. They're going to show Paul Rudd, which we know he gets out of the thing from Ant-Man. I mean, he's obviously going to have. He's stuck from the last post-credit scene. He's stuck. So they show him walking around with Tony Stark. It's like, oh, you showed him. You know, now he gets out. What do you think he's going to be? He's going to be stuck for the whole movie. So he's going to be walking around with Tony Stark, Captain America.
Do you think in the first trailer we're going to see him?
Yeah, I think it'll be kind of a longer teaser.
You don't think like Justice League first trailer, no Superman?
Right.
For Ant-Man? Nah.
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, I think
I don't think so either. I'm just wondering.
because Superman, I still think it was a mistake, but you can understand why, because in the story he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, it's like, he's trapped. We know he's going to get out. It's like, does anyone not think that Ant-Man's going to get out? Not going to get out, you know?
No, he's going to get out.
Right.
And I'm wondering this. Is it going to be like last year around this time we got the first Infinity War trailer? That's what a lot of the conversation was, right? And we got a pretty good look at it, right? So I'm wondering what this is going to be, because it's different, right? We have a bunch of deaths and they don't want to tip their hat, even though, we should know they're coming back. Are they going to show some like clips from Infinity War, set it up, a logo, a title, and like one shot of like some of our Avengers are still alive? Like, are they not going to tip their hat to this? Because a lot of people are saying maybe we don't need to see everything because this is built in. We're going to go see this movie.
Yeah. I mean, we are, and I think that's Cobbster's.
Oh, they'll definitely show you all this in the movie.
Who of the Guardians do
Thank
you think we're going to see? Guardians? Do you think we're going to see?
Most of the Guardians are dead. I mean, Rocket.
Yeah.
Rocket and Nebula.
Yeah, that's it.
They're the only ones.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll probably see Rocket for sure.
And you don't think we're going to see any flashback people or any kind of?
That I think they're going to hold at least for a little bit, but I mean that's why, depending on what you get in the Captain Marvel trailer, that you could potentially see her. I mean,
Also keep in mind when they released that first trailer, there was that one shot at the very end that wasn't even in the movie. So
The
they
Hulk
could,
one?
yeah,
Right.
they could very much just have a shot of something that won't even be in the movie, which I kind of like.
yeah, but again, that was one shot because I agree with you. I think that they could do that to throw people off, which they did with the Hulk. But I also think that you don't want to. That didn't change the story. That didn't change the narrative. It was still the same thing. There's a bunch of people, Avengers running and fighting, and that's what happens in the movie. Mm-hmm. You don't want to put too much in there that's like, well, this is a different movie completely than what we gave you, because that's tricky, and because God forbid the trailer you put together, it's all BS and it's a ruse, right?
Yeah.
But it's a great trailer, and then you've promised somebody this one movie and you don't get it at all.
So you don't mind that when they put things that don't end up in the movie? That bugs me.
Sometimes, yes, but it depends. This was done purposely. A lot of times, sometimes it didn't make the cut. For example, in Star is Born, there's the scene between Dave Chappelle and Bradley Cooper. And Dave Chappelle in the trailer says, I've seen you hit rock bottom. Whatever he says, I've seen you hit rock bottom. I've never seen you this bad before. That line's not in there in the movie.
Really?
It's not in the movie.
Huh.
It's not necessary if you look at the whole cut. I got that from the scene alone. I got that from what he goes through. I got from where he found him. I got it. So it doesn't always bother me. As far as this thing that goes with the Hulk, they did it to throw you off because the Hulk isn't in the movie. So I like that they did that. I think that's what Cobbster's saying too.
What do you think about Thanos?
Oh.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say they also edited the color of the gems on his stone when Thanos and Cap fight each other.
Right. Well, and they did it in the Civil War trailer too. Remember, they didn't have Spider-Man in there.
Yep.
They didn't because they didn't want it. So there's something like that. You're right. They might do something like that. And Roxy asked, "Are we going to see Thanos?" I think because we see him at one point or another, because he by the end he's Farmer Thanos and he's sitting there and he's watching, but. I don't know how much they're going to go, because they're going to time travel. They're going to use the time stone some way or another. They're going to find or something. They're going to find a way to time travel. I don't know if they're going to reveal that. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't.
Do you think the trailer is going to be more character or plot driven?
The first one?
I think more character.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, because don't tip your hat to the plot,
Right.
but show what we know. We have Steve. We have Tony Stark. We have Nebula, Rocket.
Right.
Who else? Hulk. Thor. We could see some of these Avengers like kind of maybe epic shots of like they're looking up in the sky and they're in there and then they move on.
Yeah.
What is the one thing that you guys are really hoping we see? Any
In the trailer or just in the movie?
In the trailer. In the trailer. Or one thing that you're really hoping we don't see.
I mean,
too many spoilers.
Yeah.
I think I just want to get excited to see what these people are going to be doing. I think it should be character driven. Then you give me the story in the second trailer, and then I'm good for this one because I'm in the theater. I mean, we're only 6-7 months away from this movie.
I'm going to see this movie. I personally would
6 months.
love to.
5 months.
5 months.
I
Yeah.
hope they announce the title. I
What
think
if
that would
it
be
is-
great if it comes in this teaser at the very end.
They probably will.
Reveals it. Yeah, I'm
and I've
hoping.
heard people get mad when it's too tease and there's not enough reveal. Like, I mean, is there a point where it's like, well, they didn't give me enough of what I
I
want?
think this is different. Like, a lot of times when they do that, there wasn't enough shot. They don't know what they want to reveal yet. This is a second movie. They've had both of these movies shot ready to not shot ready to go, but written ready to go, knowing where it ended from the start of the first one. Yeah. So, and they have enough footage. They shot it a while ago that they know what the Russo brothers. Even if you heard in that Q&A. They are strategic. They know what they want to show. They know what they want to tell the audience, and they did it pretty great the first time around. So I'm going to trust. That's what I don't understand about the yelling and the screaming.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't you trust these guys? What they're doing?
But to Brett's point, if we've learned anything through our 2-hour show today, it's that
I learned nothing.
People are going to complain.
Yeah.
No matter what.
No matter
if it's too much,
Right.
too little, character,
Doesn't
plot, title, whatever. There's never going to be a trailer in 2018 or the future.
This is
it seems
amazing.
that- where
I love
every
it.
person is like, they nailed this.
Right.
My grandpa always used to say, you'd bitch if they hung you with a new rope.
What? Yeah. Right.
Like,
right.
this
Right.
is
right.
scratchy.
Right. All right. Let's. Is that everything else?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. The question remains, are we going to get it on Wednesday? And, not a lot of confirmation yet, but trusted sources are saying looks
GMA.
like that way.
All right. Well, we will see. So, tomorrow.
stuck on that.
You're stuck on that. Tomorrow we'll talk about that in depth if we get it early enough. We'll talk about it just like we did
Tonight.
last
The
time.
trailer's tonight.
So we'll
we can
talk about it in the
it.
morning tomorrow for sure. We will talk about the Avengers trailer if it does indeed drop on Wednesday. We'll talk about that. The other thing I wanted to let people know, if you didn't see, I posted it on social media on 101. I have 2 interviews this week. The one is obviously Roxy Striar, which will drop, I believe, Thursday or Friday, one of those 2 days. Today is a very special episode. I got to sit down with Ellen Page. And
Hey, I saw that. Wow. I saw a picture.
Yeah, so Ellen Page is doing a read with so Jason Reitman. We used to do a show with Catherine Reitman, who's one of the funniest. I love Catherine Reitman. She was our first co-host. She was like the first lady of the Schmoedown. Yeah. And she was our co-host for about a year. And inside of that time, and maybe it was after, I don't remember, just because we've become friendly, she told me that her brother was doing like these reads, and they did Empire Strikes Back, they did Juno, they did all these things.
Big Lebowski.
They did Big Lebowski, and it was always for some kind of charity or whatnot every single time. And so they're doing Casablanca with an all-female cast.
Oh, cool.
And Ellen Page is going to be in it. They haven't announced the entire cast. It's December 13th, I think. I don't know. I say it inside the episode. But she came in. She talked about that. She talked about Juno. She talked about Inception. She talked about X-Men. She talked about growing up in Canada. It was cool. It was a shorter interview, but it was a good one. It's going to drop at 12 p.m. today. And, and the other thing that I want to let people know with these one-on-ones, whether you're listening to them on audio, and I was thinking about it this morning, is that so many people are like, well, how do you get more guests? You should have this person on. You should have this person. Watch them. Watch the episodes.
The bigger the numbers, the
that's
more
what I mean.
people.
Like, so
the easier it is
if
to read a book.
If Ellen Page winds up doing 50, 60, 70, 80,000 views, then the publicist goes, whoa, I want to have this person on now.
Or
and this
Roxy
person on.
Striar, 80,000 views.
Those are the easier ones. But those ones, you like Ken, Roka.
Because you're pitching to your audience.
Right. Those numbers go up, but it's one of these things that if you maybe people don't know who Clancy Brown is, but what I would say is go and
Really?
How about Josh Macuga?
Oh, nice to see you.
Turn your mic on, Josh.
It's on.
Yeah.
Is it? Doesn't sound like. Oh, you're just quieter than mine.
Did you run
That's good.
into,
Keep it that way.
Did you run into?
I like your haircut.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I can't remember now. I'm done.
No, it's cool.
I'm fried. What's going on?
Hey, buddy. How's everything?
You guys are
just in
twinsies.
time. I told you I have a Hitler story to tell you.
Oh,
and I'm not
Dude.
I'm not
All right,
pointing
what
at
is-
Josh
Oh.
because he's Hitler.
You know this?
I'm pointing at him because
We
he's
were
Jewish.
there
All right.
together.
All right, well, tell the story then, Josh. Josh, tell the story.
So,
I
Roxy
said
and I-
nothing. You got to sit the whole thing
Okay,
out.
so Roxy and I go to a restaurant here in Burbank for lunch to do pre-pro for hypothetical questions on the TV Talk channel, right?
Rocks on Josh's box.
Rocks on Josh's box.
And real quick, while we're doing this, hold that story.
Yeah.
Hashtag Collider Live for after the story's over. We're going to take questions. So get that ready. Hashtag
Yeah.
Collider Live and the phone number, guys. Flash it when you're ready.
Now, this story has a very weird punchline, and you almost had to be there, but you're going to get what we're going to go at here, okay? So we're eating lunch, and we've had the same waitress for the last, 4 or 5 weeks, and we become friends with her, and she's
We
a
request her
sweetheart.
second 4 or 5
Yeah.
weeks. I'm going to say 4 months.
Okay.
We've literally been with her for a dozen times.
Yeah, we sit down, and our drinks are already waiting
So
for
you can
us.
tell you're
She
proud of her
knows.
at this point.
Yeah.
We like her.
Okay.
We know
Liked her.
she's going to school for cosmetology. We know her whole thing. So I asked her how her Thanksgiving went. We were talking about our Thanksgiving, and she's like, "Yeah, I was with my boyfriend's family, and they are part Argentinian, part German, so they eat these traditions and everything." And we're like, "Oh, cool!" And it's like they have this food and that food. And then I was like, "Have you ever been to Germany?" It's like I lived there for a little while. It's
Because
amazing.
she's going on a trip there, she said, for
oh,
cosmetology
part
school.
Bolivian, part German.
Bolivian, part German.
She's like, "We went to Bolivia last year. This year we're going to Germany." I was
Did you
like,
say what restaurant it was? I'm sorry.
I'm not going to say
You're
the
not
name
gonna
of
say
the
that.
restaurant. Yeah. And
Because the restaurant's great, and I don't want them to.
okay.
yeah. So she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna go to Germany this year. My husband or my boyfriend is obsessed with it. He loves German. He loves Hitler. He thinks Hitler is the coolest." And Roxy and I were both like, "What?"
And she's like, "Oh no, he's not racist. He just thinks Hitler's really cool."
Okay. He's obsessed with Hitler. He named his son Adolf. His middle name is Adolf.
Did you say Get Out?
Yeah, no,
That relationship?
right.
Wow.
She's like, they have the same birthday.
She's like, "That's why we went to Bolivia, because apparently he escaped there. So we're kind of following Hitler around."
Yeah. And she was like, "All right, I'll take your check." And Roxy and I both looked at each other and we're kind of like, "What?"
We're looking for cameras.
Yeah,
totally.
yes.
What would you do?
Right.
Because
Right.
that's the second time this has happened to me. Not the Hitler thing, but I was in a racist Uber a couple weeks ago. Didn't know what to say because I didn't want to get left on the side of the highway.
So I'm embarrassed to say Josh and I said nothing.
Yes.
We took the check.
Yeah.
And we left.
And we left.
As a Jewish woman, I said nothing.
I'm
I
shocked
said no.
that you said nothing.
I
As
didn't
a
know what
normal
to,
human being.
I'm surprised you didn't go to the manager.
I didn't know
Yeah.
what to. I didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
What? Your boyfriend thinks Hitler's cool? What? I'm in Los Angeles. It's 2018.
Yeah, you were probably just so stunned you couldn't even.
I couldn't even.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to verbalize. Actually, Hitler's not cool.
Yeah.
They walked in with
Maybe.
faces I
Maybe a
haven't
little
seen
bit.
before.
I
They
was
were
white.
confused.
So confused.
What,
I haven't heard
what
these
just
words
happened?
ever.
Wow.
Maybe.
It was
outside
so
of
weird.
And it wasn't he's
Schindler's
intrigued
List.
with his
Yeah, you
life
watched,
in a
the
historical.
Ray fights.
No,
but it was he
no, it was
loves.
it was not. He's a history major,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
he literally loves and thinks Hitler's cool, but he's not
Cool.
racist.
No.
He named his son Adolf.
Adolf.
That is
Wow. Drew a mustache on his face for Halloween.
What's crazy?
And now Josh and I can't go back there.
we can't go back.
no.
I can't.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. But
I can't support. It's like the racist barber.
But the thing is, does the restaurant no? Because that's the thing. You can't
I don't want to
support-
get this girl fired. She's
I
going through
couldn't tell-
college right now.
I couldn't tell
I don't
whether
think she thinks
she-
Hitler's cool.
But yeah, that's a
That's
strange
the thing.
situation to put yourself
Right?
in, because the other thing is too, what if she becomes something bad?
I
Right.
know,
Right.
but she did not say my boyfriend thinks, and I think so too. She was like, my boyfriend thinks that Hitler's cool.
He's
So
not a
I thought-
racist or anything. He just
Now,
doesn't like Jews.
You
Like,
have
what?
a really bad taste in men. I'll
Right.
give you that. But
Right.
do you deserve to get fired for having a anti-Semitic boyfriend?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. What is the protocol there?
The protocol is don't bring that up at a table when you don't know
Ever.
everyone.
And it took her months to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
So she must know better. It's not like first conversation she brought that up. She started to feel comfortable with us, and
time to hit him with the hit.
Yeah. Let's
Gotta let them
gauge
know
the
now.
audience. See if I can recruit
Ease
some
them
more
into
people
that.
into my Hitler-loving regime.
This was at Disney.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I did not know what to say.
Yeah.
Right, man.
I do feel a little guilty for not saying anything, but I still haven't figured out what to say.
Yeah, it's not a.
You should tell your boyfriend that it's not legit to
Hitler
think
is
I would
not
just say,
cool.
Yeah, you should
He's-
probably not bring this up at a conversation, even if you feel comfortable with
Ever.
this.
Like there's not somebody you can bring up in a conversation that everybody be like, yeah, he's the worst.
Yeah, Hitler's
Hitler.
like
He's the
universally.
He's the
the
worst.
biggest. Him and Satan are like the two biggest
Right.
the evil things that have ever been
Correct.
uttered.
Correct.
Wouldn't it be funny though?
You're not
if
going to find anybody being like, Hitler.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Not
I
too
named my son
shabby.
Adolf because like he had like a thing.
There's
no-
no,
He
there's
was
no gray
misunderstood.
area with Hitler.
No.
It's pretty much cut and dry.
Right down
Okay,
the middle.
Cobbster, what did you got?
Wouldn't it be funny if she's just describing it horribly wrong? What if he was just a big history buff and he's fascinated around that
Right.
time? You
I-
know,
Right.
You know?
I
Like
feel
he's
like
obsessed
we
with World
gave
War
her,
II.
Yeah.
we gave her the opportunity to say that.
No, but dude, but you know,
Yeah, but
I would.
Cobbster.
But he named the kid Adolf.
Adolf.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
thing.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And so, and like, I watched so much History Channel, at least I did with my dad. And we would watch all the World War II footage, World War One, all like anything that was about World War II. My dad has collected so much World War II memorabilia, all that kind of stuff. But he's not walking around saying Hitler was cool.
Right.
No.
He didn't name his son Adolf.
That's the thing.
I agree. I am a huge history, especially with World War II. My grandfather fought in it.
Yeah.
As a Jewish person, I spend so much time researching, watching documentaries.
Yeah.
Those words have never come out of
This
my
is
mouth.
the man who ruined the name Adolf
Yeah.
and ruined the little mustache.
Well, I was telling
He did ruin the
Roxy.
mustache.
the little mustache. You can't wear that little
Chaplin
mustache.
did it, and then boom, he's
no,
He
but
also
it was
ruined
also,
like a way to
Laurel
say
Hardy.
hi, kind of. Anytime I,
Right.
you
can't
can't
do
No,
that.
you can't.
Look, I'll
I
tell
think
you,
you
when
didn't
we
say
did-
anything because you felt bad for her. Because hers was a naive,
Misguided
kind of
naivete.
misguided. Yeah, she wasn't.
She didn't say, I'm going to Germany because I love Hitler. I think he's really cool. I would have said something because you can't let it's her boyfriend. I
would
don't
have
know.
liked. I would have liked if she would have thrown up like, "I'm talking to him about it."
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I'm
No,
having conversation.
really
I
gotta
see
go
the
to
looks on your
therapy.
faces.
We're going to a meeting tomorrow night.
Yeah.
She must have known based off our faces. We just stopped talking. We
Yeah.
didn't. There was no.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Did I forget his chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
all right.
it was legitimately when she goes, he's not a racist or anything. And I go, well,
Yeah, just the words weren't
you
coming.
sure about that?
Yeah.
'Cause
I'm gonna go ahead and say you might be wrong.
you might be wrong on that one.
All right,
yeah.
let's move away from this story. Let's get to the group.
Phone
You got a phone call? All right, let's do it. All right, hey, you're on Collider Live. Who do we got today?
Not Hitler.
What the heck was that story?
It's true. It's true.
I know. Who do we got?
This is Nico Rigoli from Pennsylvania. How you
Nico,
guys doing?
don't you bring up that match today. I don't want to hear about it. I want to hear about something else today. What do you got?
What?
He's the Penn Stater,
He's
right?
the
Are
Penn
we at
State.
least cool? Are we at least cool?
Yeah. Let's just,
Are we at least cool?
Of course. Let's. So what do you got today?
Is he peppering you?
Relentless.
Well,
Relentless.
I want to. Well, we're talking a lot about names on this episode, so I have a serious question that's going to sound funny, but I promise you it's serious. So my last name is very Italian. It's Rigoli, and it sounds very close to
Ravioli?
Kenobi, as in Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm a fan of Star Wars, and there have been times where I've thought, if I had a son, what if I named him Obi-Wan Rigoli? Would that make me a terrible father?
Yes.
No, I think that's good.
Yeah.
No.
Well, thank you for the call, Nico. So this comes up because we talked about ABCDE.
Oh, yeah. Abcde.
And right, and Columnop
Or,
as well.
or Abcde.
Abcde, but right, or Party City, USA.
Yeah.
But would you? I think Obi-Wan Rigoli.
Maybe for a dog.
A dog
Okay,
would
what
be
if his
good.
last name was Smith? Do you have a problem with Obi-Wan?
Smith. Yeah.
So you have a problem? You have a-
Obi you can get away with.
I guess.
You can get away with Obi. You
It's
can
like
get away with.
Obi.
Obi-Wan. Look,
You don't want to name somebody Opie either.
Listen,
What's
I
Sons
know
of Anarchy's
there-
name?
Anakin has been named. They've done Anakin
That
before.
one's-
Leia has been named before. Anakin,
I like
Leia.
Leia.
Like those were
Leia
Ray.
is a
Those
nice-
work.
Sure.
You know, Luke obviously works.
Sure.
Harrison.
Han?
We know that Harrison
and
works.
there's Jar Jar Sphinx.
I think
the
Obi-Wan's
boxer's
cool.
son, Jar Jar Sphinx.
Obi's cool. You would call him Obi.
Obi could work, but Obi-Wan.
Obi
couldn't do it.
Rigoli.
I don't-
Obi
that's
Rigoli.
I don't know. I mean, it depends.
I don't think you're a
also
bad
know,
dad.
But no, I don't think you're a bad dad. Because I also know. So Nico also knows martial arts. So it's like if he teaches his kid martial arts,
Yeah.
And he's Obi-Wan
Then he's
Rigoli.
Obi-Wan Rigoli, and he's like, and now in
Badass.
Obi-Wan Rigoli, and he chokes you out if you.
That's
if you
pretty
do it. That's
badass.
kind of badass. So it just depends.
Martial arts is the key to bad names, is what you're saying.
Yes,
If you need to
100%.
teach them how to fight because they will have to fight.
Abcde.
Yeah, because
Abcde.
well, no, different though. You can't change Abcde. You can be a black belt and everything. You
But I
still-
sent you that Wikipedia. Did you reference Wikipedia? in
no.
there?
What did you send me?
Oh yeah,
I
it
sent
is.
you those links on the Wikipedia of that this name became popular in like
ABCDE.
You saw that. It was
ABCDE.
No, I didn't see that.
313.
Yeah.
I was looking over your
Did you
shoulder.
email it?
Where'd it
I
go?
texted it to you in that
Wait, what?
text.
Oh, you did.
So I went into Wikipedia and I just like did the research. Are there other kids out there named ABCDE,
Yeah.
or was this mom just a jerk? Like she just ruined this kid's life, right? And it was apparently it's in Latin. It's like the first 5 letters of the Latin thing. In pronunciation, it's Abcde, right? And so like there was somebody named it, and then it got popular in the late '90s or something like that. It was like in Baltimore maybe or something.
Okay.
Can't be that popular.
No, but there's only like 300 kids named that in the world
But
or
still,
something.
300.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
That's a lot
That's
more
nuts.
than
That's still a lot more than there should be.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't name the name Abcde.
Abcde. That's what we said. We said if you, but name Abcdy.
That's exactly.
Okay, that's Abcde. It's not ABCDE.
Because the thing, and Amanda and I talk about it all the time. You can name your kid whatever you want because you think it's cool, whatever. But you have to think about that child's future because you're not in it.
Right. And you're going to be gone for at least 20, 30 years of it.
The amount of bullying and everything in school, it'd be like my name, my kid Macuga Macuga.
Look, we did
just because I thought it was funny.
My name's going to be Julia Gulia.
Right, exactly.
Right, you think about these things. It's like it's all.
I like Kachuga Macuga.
Yeah.
Kachuga Macuga.
Hey,
Don't let I am not ready to be a mom. I'll do that.
Yeah,
Don't let the fact that Dick Trickle made a name for himself confuse into thinking you can name people.
But it started as Richard Trickle, and then he decided to go by Dick.
This will be better.
Yeah.
Listen, my cousin on my mom's side, my cousin's father's name is Richard Seaman, and he goes by Dick. He goes by Dick Seaman. That's the man's name.
And you
he
and
said,
your brother had a blast.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? And the first time I asked him, I was like 13. I was like, you never thought about going like Richie or Rick? And he goes, when I was a kid, kids weren't as mean as they are today. And I was like, or they just weren't as smart.
Or they didn't tweet at you, bro.
Well, that's what I wonder.
Correct.
When did Dick become the? I mean, how long have people been using Dick as a?
And then
Richard.
Jack and John, whatever. Let's move on.
Roxy created Longhorn that people keep popping up.
Is it?
I've never heard Longhorn before.
Yeah.
You created a new Dick term.
All right, let's go,
Thank
Longhorns.
you.
What's Reilly? Hit me with some Twitter stuff. What do we got?
Did you guys see the Happy Death Day to You trailer?
No.
People are asking about that. Yeah, it's
I
fine.
haven't seen the first
It's
one.
fine. It's fine.
Clark Wolf likes that movie.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Happy Death Day.
Clark Wolf, by the way, sent me a picture last night, and then they posted it today.
It was Doug Loves Movies.
Doug Benson at the end of the year always does like these big Doug Loves Movies live, and what
I went
a
to-
crew!
I went to
You went
Ellis's.
to the one last year, but the crew they had
6
this year, man,
hours.
they,
It was crazy.
Just the two people alone on it. John Hamm was
Yeah.
on it, and Sarah Silverman, who I think, by the way, Clark Wolf resembles in
100%.
both looks and voice. If
Yes.
you listen to Clark
But
Wolf talk,
not personality.
different personalities.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
different,
crassness.
very different personalities.
Yeah.
Classy
but-
Clark.
Yes, classy Clark. But again, you look at that picture that they posted up. I can't wait to actually hear that show because it's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you got anything else? For
Yeah, I have something
Hot
that
scoop.
came in hot that
What
I'm
do you
putting
got?
in for a link there. Well, apparently Luke Skywalker was arrested. The Luke
Wait.
Skywalker. Talking about
What?
names here.
Oh.
Somebody named their kid Luke Skywalker, and he's been arrested.
For what?
Unwilling
Stealing-
use of a lightsaber.
Friday
Stealing
reported
milk?
that Elizabethton police arrested Luke Skywalker of Johnson City for violation of probation.
Tennessee.
The story quickly went viral.
Right.
But it's
then Mark Hamill said the real crime here is Mr. and Mrs. Walker saddling this poor guy with the name in the first place.
Yes.
And he posted the mugshot.
So
Oh,
it's
so he's Luke, middle name Sky Walker.
Walker. Yeah, makes sense.
yeah.
All right. Well, there you go.
Wait till you see a
I
Chuga
would-
Macuga.
If my last name was Walker, my sister's name is Sky, I would name a kid Skywalker. Just Skywalker.
Yeah, 'cause you
That's
always
cool.
have to
Like,
have the person.
like
sit-
an homage. That's cool.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Homage.
do you have any more hashtag Collider Live? Nobody did any hashtag?
Yeah, there's a lot
so
of
give me one. What do
Avengers
you got?
questions. I mean, we've talked about it. So, do you think how much do you think they're going to save versus spoiling? Meaning, like, how much are they going to show when you know the fact that we have a lot of down Avengers,
I think
right?
Roxy hit it, or
Yeah,
at least it posted in the question was I think they're going to make it very character driven. And
Yeah.
It's going to be more about characters and not give away too much plot in this one. But Macuga, you missed a lot of the conversation.
About
though, too.
Avengers?
Well, there's two.
Hachuga Macuga.
You love that. You love some pictures of Hachuga Macuga.
It means no worries.
Uh,
Yeah.
It's like you name your kid Swarovski Harloff, but you call him Harloff.
Right. Well, if I named my kid Boris.
Yeah, Boris
Boris,
Harloff.
not Boris Karloff, Boris Harloff.
Yeah.
You know? So there you go.
I
How
like
about
There you
that?
go.
I like that.
I used to get that all the time.
But he
People
had
like-
girls.
People who were very clever. It was like Kristian Harloff, like Boris Karloff. Right? No, nothing like that.
That's
at all.
not it.
It's like a totally different letter.
Oh, Brett
Imagine-
Sheridan, like the hotel? No, not spelled.
Did you know what his real name is? Brett Sheridan. But did you know what his original name is?
Hotel.
Bret Hart. Hart. Bret the Hitman Hart.
No shit.
He's Bret Hart. That's his original name.
No way.
Yeah, but he's changed it legally. I didn't know that. You learn something new every day.
Could you imagine how many chupacabras I've gotten because of my last name?
man.
Yeah.
So I saw
Real fucking clever.
I saw a movie. I don't know what movie it was with the Rubalcaba name.
No shit.
Yes, and it was recent. It might have been Mary Poppins.
Like on a cast and crew, or
yeah,
like a character?
Cast and crew.
Oh.
It might be Mary Poppins.
Okay, I'll check it
Yeah, I
out.
saw it, and I was.
Are you on embargo on that?
I think so. So I want to be careful
Gotcha.
on it. But all right, you got any more phone calls there, Cody Codes?
We do.
All right, let's do it. All right, hey, you are on Collider Live. Who do we got?
Hey, how you doing?
How are you? Who is this?
Good. This is Chris Kraus. Sounds like Chris Cross. Easy to remember.
Hey, Chris.
I'm from New York.
Hey, brother,
Nice.
what's going on, man?
Are
How
you
you doing?
jumping?
What's going on today? What do you got
I'm
for
doing
us?
good. Jump. Yes,
Yeah.
jump. Yeah, I actually had a question I've been thinking about for a while, and I'd love to get your guys' input on it.
Hit me with it.
Yeah, so what I've been, like everyone, especially in the post-Me Too movement, people have made a big deal about, trying to figure out how to be a responsible movie viewer. And I think that's a really complex question, and essentially, you get people that go, hey, just don't watch anything if someone's done something bad involved with the product. But you guys know, especially, that films are a huge collaborative process. And sometimes you get something like, I don't know, let's say an X-Men movie. And if you have an issue with Bryan Singer, you also have Patrick Stewart, who's been a huge advocate for survivors of domestic abuse and things like that.
Right.
And not watching that would hurt both of them. So I was just curious about how you guys approach that and how you view that topic.
It's great question.
We
Thank
just
you so much,
don't,
Chris.
right?
Yeah,
We talked about it on the way
we move on to fart conversations.
Yeah.
We move on to fart conversations. No, thank you for the call.
Good call, Chris.
Yeah, I think it was a
thanks,
great
Chris.
call. It's tough because so recently? Who was the director that said the thing?
James
about,
Franco.
No, it wasn't.
Bryan Singer.
No, it was the
Mark Wahlberg.
director that said that he would not work. He wouldn't do the movie unless Kevin Spacey was involved in it. What was that?
Schrader. Paul Schrader.
Paul Schrader said they would. That's a different circumstance because the movie itself has not been. Because I think what Chris was talking about is a movie comes out, a controversy hits, and you're not supporting the rest of the cast. Like for example, the Bohemian Rhapsody, right? You look at everything that Rami Malek did in that movie. There's so much inside of that movie that should be celebrated. And then depending on how you feel about, you can choose not to see it because of Bryan Singer, but it's a slippery slope right now. Paul Schrader casting Kevin Spacey after all this stuff, and where people are saying, I don't want to watch a movie, he's making that choice to see it. And then people are going to choose to be involved in it, knowing whether or not, you want to work with Kevin Spacey or not. But I think Schrader's point he was trying to make was that you separate the art from the artist. Yeah. It's slippery slope sometimes, I think. It depends. Because then you look for when we talk about Mel Gibson, Roxy, no, thank you, not gonna.
For my career, I do, but I don't support.
You'll watch them because you have to review the movies. But if you were just going, you would choose not to see them.
Yes, I would.
Right,
I would choose not to see them.
right, and it depends on circumstance. It depends on your views. It's tricky. It's a fantastic question.
Every Sunday during the football season, I have the same conundrum. Every single Sunday.
Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that number one, and it's taken me a long time to get to this point, but it's really a personal choice. So not being upset with somebody else's personal choice about that, because I understand both sides of the argument. And it's not worth losing friendships or relationships over what somebody else chooses to watch for me anymore.
Well, that's right. Exactly right, because the perfect example is that is last Wednesday. So we had Lilo Brancato Jr. on, which, by the way, I have to say, as much as we've been talking about certain people in the comments, I really respected the conversation that was going on. I did.
Those were some of the nicest comments.
Because it was a discussion that they had inside. It wasn't even directed at us. It was a conversation, and it was kind of the point. It was a moral conversation of what people thought. There were tons of people who thought there was actually a New York police officer who was on the scene and wrote, and at first, and this is what I respected so much about the guy in the comment. He said, look, I saw this, and the first thing I said was, well, I'm not going to watch the channel anymore because you're supporting this guy. And then I said, well, let me see. Because you and I thought, didn't hold any punches. We asked everything that we could. We directed it. We asked the questions of those people. We wanted to represent the opinions like Josh and ask these questions, and I believe that we did that. And I also, and so the cop watched it and said that he hasn't changed his view, obviously, but he respected the interview, and he is going to continue to watch the channel because he liked the way that we approached it, but also respected your take on it, Josh. And I said to Josh afterwards, I was like, every single person in that room understood where you were coming from.
Yeah.
For sure. It's like, and if he chooses not to watch any of Lilo's movies for the rest of his life, then that's understandable.
I think the fact that this caller was thinking about it and was concerned, I think that's the step in the right direction, is as if you're actually going, it's not just like, whatever, separate the art from the artist, you know, that kind of thing. I don't really, because I agree with you, the Mel Gibson, I got, people were like, oh, he's had his time out or whatever, he's done his time or whatever, and I was like, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, because it's not it's not a specific thing he did, it's who he is, and that's why, to me, he hasn't had his time out. But I think that I try to look at who's getting money from things. That's how I try to make a lot of my decisions. Like,
who's benefiting
from it.
And from who.
Yeah, and from who. Right. So, you know, if is there a back-end deal? Obviously, we don't have all the information on who's getting points and what's happening, but like, does me going to see something and me paying to buy a movie negatively affect people that I don't want to be negatively affected, or only people that I do want to be affected, and all of those things. So you just try to make a decision, and honestly, for me, it's not black and white. I don't have, like, I will not see anything with anybody's name who's been associated with. Right. But there are some people that rub me in different ways than others. Like, I have a really hard time watching Woody Allen films.
Well, of course.
And
because they're bad, or because he's an asshole?
Because for the latter. And so I choose not to.
Right.
Because for my job right now, I don't have to do that.
You don't necessarily have to, unless Oscar-wise, if things pop up. Right.
So for me, it's different people. I look at different situations.
Understood.
But you can't feel bad. Like, I loved a lot of Woody Allen films, and then it was suddenly like, oh, now I can't like. No, there's certain comedians I feel like
I believe that's
anymore.
I think that was one of the points that were brought up inside of that doc, was that, you know, you have the Woody Allens, the Kevin Spacey, well, not Kevin Spacey not yet, but Mel Gibsons, who've gotten their so-and-so second chance, right? Yeah. And so they're saying
Roman
about
Polanski.
Louis C.K. was my favorite comedian.
Yeah, and
me too, and it's from my town.
And he's doing gigs again. He's doing.
I don't know. I listen to this podcast. I know Mark Reilly listens to. It's called The Daily. It's from the New York Times.
Yeah, I brought it up today actually.
Oh, did you talk about the Louis C.K. thing?
No,
no, not Louis C.K. Just
so they were. Michael Barbaro was interviewing the owner of the Comedy Cellar in New York, and talking to him about Louis C.K. and the whole conundrum, the exact same thing we're talking about right now, And the guy, the owner, he was like, it's not really my place to say if he can or can't perform again. All I do is own a club, and if he would like to come on, he can. And Michael's like, well, but you can make that decision. You are able to make the decision that says, no, Louis C.K. can't perform at my club, thus blocking him from performing again. Right. Don't you think that's kind of your responsibility? And he goes, I don't know. And he really didn't have a good answer to it.
Because no, what he should have said is, listen, and he won't ever say this, but what I want to tell you is I need this club to make money.
Correct.
He still has people coming. Look, another thing, I wasn't going to talk about this today, too, because it was deep.
We
were
said
going
we would.
deep. We said but Neil deGrasse Tyson. He what happened to him now over the
sexual harassment?
A lot of sexual harassment.
Yeah, he's been accused like one
Did this just happen?
many years
over the weekend,
ago, and one that was more recent, and he wrote a big Facebook post.
There were 3 different accounts. One from I believe this year, one in the 80s, and one in like 2014 or 2015.
Right. He responded quickly. A lot of times people don't respond. He responded quickly and kind of defended a lot of them. I don't know. I think it's up. I don't know if it's on Twitter or whatever it is, but like
he posted on Twitter.
Yeah, it's just
his response
again, and that's one of the things too. I don't know enough. I'm not saying anything about whether or not I don't know enough about the detail. I am ignorant when it comes to the details of all this stuff too. So I'm not going to say. I would never say that the people who are accusing are wrong and not true because this guy posted something on Twitter. But I'm also not going to say right away he's guilty because I think that's what a lot of people do. Very well might come out that he is guilty. Very well might come out that he is not. But it is yet another circumstance of someone high profile, you know.
And then there are the cases too where it's like I don't even necessarily think that they did something illegal, but I just don't like them now. Like Chris Hardwick, who's back and working.
It is so weird when you see the trailer for like Talking Dead.
Yeah.
And he's definitely a different dude on camera.
Yeah,
he's
so different.
He's aware that people don't look at him.
And I just don't like watching him because when I'm watching him, I'm like, ugh.
Right.
And again, regardless of your thoughts on whether or not that was sexual abuse or what you thought about her article that she put out, I just don't like the way, I don't like him.
I think the only bad take on this whole thing is when you go, oh, this Me Too movement, like that, or this, it's hard for men now to do anything. That's the bad take.
Yeah.
100%.
The open line of communication, that's good. It's thinking about it, talking about it,
Yeah,
but
I agree.
just this whole,
Right. You can't.
so hard to be a man.
You can't, and that's what a lot of celebrities have gotten themselves in trouble. You can't have that approach to it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, too, very similar to what we were just talking about before. There are also times when people will just throw things out on and gone away from the legal system, throwing stuff out on Twitter, and it hurts your case.
Yeah.
Well, who
hurts
was
your
it?
cause.
The Aziz Ansari one,
Right.
Which,
Oh, yeah.
And for me personally, based on researching, I read every article. I do everything that I can to be up on things. I have no problem watching him because he. In that situation,
It sounded like he just went on a bad date.
It's not, and I'm not saying I would date him after reading that.
Right.
I wouldn't want to go on that date, but I didn't read that and walk away and think like, ugh.
Yeah, me
the way that
either.
I walked away
Me
from the
either.
Hardwick one thinking, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all tough. But look, this is a very interesting show today.
We'll do 2 hours tomorrow on it.
That's it. That's all we're
That's
talking
the
about.
whole
So
show.
no Captain Marvel. So don't tune in for it. Captain Marvel, we will talk about tomorrow. We'll talk about the Avengers trailer on Wednesday if it does indeed drop. Macuga will
Is
be
that the
here.
thought?
Was that?
Is that the thought?
The thought. Well, they confirmed Captain Marvel drops tonight.
Oh,
so
okay.
we'll talk about the second trailer
So
tomorrow.
Monday Night Football. It's going to
Yes.
jump to Monday Night
And
Football.
then
Exactly.
and then there's rumors that Good Morning America will debut the Avengers trailer on Wednesday morning. So we will have a lot to talk about if that is indeed the case. Cool. No guests this week?
No, maybe. Working on a couple things.
Okay,
but,
we're working on some stuff. But
I don't
what
watch maybe stuff anymore.
No,
Yeah.
I'm with you.
No.
What I would encourage you guys to do as we go off the air, though, too, at 12 o'clock, right after this show, is the one-on-one interview with Ellen Page. Please go and check that out and watch it. Like I said, the more people who watch these interviews, the better and more guests we get. I don't say better because she was pretty good guest, but you know what I'm saying. More high-profile guests will keep coming on, so check that out. Leave a comment. Do the same thing here. If you aren't listening to this show on podcast, you really should. Go to Apple Podcasts. Going to do an email today and find out where it is on Spotify, so we'll be checking that out as well too. But you can also you can find this show on podcast form, so do it. Leave comments, rate, subscribe to this channel if you haven't done already, and we'll see you tomorrow. Collider Live.
Yeah.